at Hermosa Church of Christ, 2512 West Bush Avenue in Artesia. Call 748-3301.
Heirloom Acres Corn Maze and Pumpkin Patch will be open October 4th through the 26th, Fridays 5 to 8 p.m., Saturdays 10 a.m. to 8 p.m., and Sundays 2 to 8 p.m. Heirloom Acres is located east of Artesia, 1706 East Main Street on U.S. Highway 82. To have your event listed on the KSVP community calendar, email calendar@ksvpradio.com. Please let us know at least 1 week in advance.
This is KSVP and K229AS Artesia.
This hour from Town Hall. I'm Rich Thomason. Following Vice President Vance, now it's Secretary of State Rubio's turn to visit Israel. He's headed there on a mission to shore up the fragile Israel-Hamas peace deal. Rubio says Hamas must be held to account for its ceasefire violation.
Understand, Hamas remains a terrorist organization. Hamas remains a violent group of people. Hamas remains a danger not just to Israel, but to the people of Gaza. That's why we need an international security force on the ground to stabilize that and prevent them from doing some of the things we've seen.
The Trump administration is not letting up in its war on drug smuggling on the high seas.
The U.S. has so far launched 9 strikes against alleged drug-carrying vessels in the Caribbean Sea and the Eastern Pacific Ocean. And U.S. Secretary of State Marco Rubio is defending the Trump administration's actions.
This is an operation against narco-terrorists, as the Department of War characterizes them, the Al-Qaeda of the Western Hemisphere. These are well-funded, dangerous, violent drug cartels that operate as terrorists who are flooding our country with drugs.
The latest U.S. strike on Wednesday killed 3 people in the Eastern Pacific Ocean. I'm Donna Water.
The U.S. and the EU are slapping tighter sanctions on Russia over the war in Ukraine. The U.S. is sanctioning Russia's 2 biggest oil companies. The EU measures target Russian oil and gas. Canadian Prime Minister Carney says Canada is rethinking its traditionally close economic ties with the U.S.
This decades-long process of an ever closer economic relationship.
As Canada plans to double its non-U.S. exports over the coming 10 years. On Wall Street, ahead of this morning's opening bell, the Dow futures are down 102 points. The Nasdaq futures off 61 points. More on these stories at townhall.com.
They say timing is everything in the gold and silver markets, and it's true. Dennis Prager here for AmFed Coin and Bullion. Although you can buy at the right time, if you buy the wrong coins, you may not make a profit. When gold was $400 an ounce, many people were talked into buying high-grade old gold and silver collector's coins. Unfortunately, most of the people who bought these so-called semi-numismatic coins, like the $20 St. Gaudens and Liberty Head gold coins, have not broken even on their investment. Incredible, given that gold has risen approximately 525% since then. So while timing is everything, if you buy the wrong coins, the timing simply doesn't matter. Having a dealer who cares about positioning you in the right types of coins or bullion will mean more to your portfolio than anything else. That's why I deal with Nick Rovich and AmFed Coin and Bullion. Whether you're buying or selling, call 800-221-7694. That's 800-221-7694. Or go to AmericanFederal.com. AmericanFederal.com.
Britain's King Charles and Queen Camilla are at the Vatican for an historic visit to forge closer ties between the Church of England and the Roman Catholic Church. Charles arrived with Camilla in a St. Peter's Square virtually emptied of people by security forces, and they had an audience with Pope Leo. Tropical storm Melissa is lumbering through the Caribbean Sea, bringing a risk of dangerous landslides and life-threatening flooding to Jamaica and southern Hispaniola. Officials urge residents of flood-prone areas to head for higher ground. Schools and offices are closed in the Dominican Republic and Jamaica, and storm shelters are opening. A foot of rain is possible in eastern Jamaica, southern Haiti, and the southern Dominican Republic through Saturday. Melissa was forecast to move gradually over the coming few days. It had maximum sustained winds at 50 miles per hour. Could be a hurricane by Friday and a major hurricane by the late weekend. News and analysis at townhall.com. Researchers may have discovered another weapon for deployment in the never-ending war on cancer.
The most widely used COVID-19 vaccines may offer a surprise benefit for some cancer patients, revving up their immune systems to help fight tumors. People with advanced lung or skin cancer who were taking certain immunotherapy drugs lived substantially longer if they also got a Pfizer or Moderna shot within 100 days of starting treatment. The molecule that powers those specific vaccines, mRNA, appears to help the immune system respond better to cutting-edge cancer treatments. I'm Lisa Dwyer.
Meta cutting roughly 600 artificial intelligence jobs even as it hires more workers for its superintelligence lab. Axios first reported the cuts affecting Meta's fundamental AI research or FAIR unit, as well as product-related AI and AI infrastructure units. Townhall.com.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Hi, this is Holly from Nels Floral in Artesia, and we are so happy to be the new florist for the KSVIP. If you know someone who is having a special day or event, a birthday, anniversary, or something big is happening in their life, let's make them the KSVIP. On their day, we'll say something on the radio about your special person, and they will receive a beautiful flower from Nels Floral. So call KSVP at 575-746-2751 and nominate your KSVIP.
Good morning, Artesia. Hey, it's Thursday, October 23rd. I'm your host, Scott Pettis. So glad to be back on the air with you guys. Pretty interesting day today. We don't have a whole lot of guests, so we're gonna talk about a lot of stuff today. Looks like I just had a pastor, Roger, up that's going to come in and talk to us today, so that's good. But hey, you know, we're going to go through the news of the day and see what's going on and talk a little bit about local stuff and maybe some state politics, and then of course stuff going on at the national level. But before we do all of that, let's go to the source. Let's go to the truth, and let's jump into some scripture this morning. I landed in Matthew 9 this morning. Matthew 9, beginning with verse 35. It It says, and Jesus went throughout all the cities and the villages, teaching in their synagogues and proclaiming the gospel of the kingdom and healing every disease and every affliction. And when he saw the crowds, he had compassion for them because they were harassed and helpless, like sheep without a shepherd. Then he said to his disciples, the harvest is plentiful, but the laborers are few. Therefore, pray earnestly to the Lord of the harvest to send out laborers into his harvest. What made me think of this is just everything going on around the nation, especially all the protests this past weekend. When I watch this stuff, when I watch the interactions online, the reactions to what's going on at the national level, I see people without a shepherd, is what I see. For far too long, this nation's been heading down a road of a new national religion, and we call that religion secularism. And basically, the concept is it says, you know, every man is a law unto himself, and that there is no God over the state, there is no God over anything. The idea that there is no shepherd to direct and to watch over the people. Jesus had compassion on them because he knew that people need shepherds. They need someone in their life proclaiming into their life the truth at all times, and then watching their lives and watching where they're going and bringing them to the fresh water, bringing them to the grass, and bringing them to truth so that they might eat and they might be filled with truth at all times. We have a nation of not just no shepherds, but tons and tons of false shepherds as well. We've been, for far too long, the Word of God has not been proclaimed. So here's where we're at. We're in that same place where Jesus stood that day. He saw that the harvest is plentiful and that laborers need to go out in there and draw the harvest in. We need shepherds. We need leaders that are gifted and willing to go into the fields to gather in the harvest. Truth must be proclaimed in all corners, not just in your churches, not just on Sunday mornings, Wednesday nights maybe, but in every corner of life, in every sector of our society, of what we have. We need people proclaiming the truth into that. And then, because here's the truth, here's the thing of it, I guess, is we don't go out and win souls. We don't go out and win people to Christ. What we do is we just go out and proclaim truth. God's already grown the harvest. We need to gather it in. We need to be the laborers of it. We are the hands and feet. We are the mouths of Christ himself. So as we go out and we proclaim the truth, we proclaim the gospel of his death, burial, and resurrection. We proclaim the goodness and promise of God in his covenant across all of his people. That's what we're called to do. We're not called to change people's hearts. That's the work of God himself. So when we see these people, I'm with a lot of you. I won't say most, a lot of you, I'm sure. When we see the hate and the vitriol, the ridiculous statements and the craziness that comes from those who oppose the concepts of a Christian nation, a Christian city, when we see those people, our heart should have compassion for them, not hatred, not anger. Because they're caught up in hatred. They're caught up in anger. They're caught up in this place where they're captive to false ideologies. Our desire should be to see them set free. Our job's not to win arguments, right? It's merely to proclaim truth. and let God work in that. When I run into people that are setting in an ideology that I know to be completely false, even those who may know the gospel and may proclaim Christ, but when you measure their view of the world, you see there's no Christ in it. My job's not to batter them, beat them down, insult them, belittle them. It's to proclaim the truth in love. That's what Christ did, and that's what we're called to do. I look at the situation here is in some instances you might be equipped to be the laborer. You might be equipped to be the one to go in and gather in the harvest, and in other ones you may not. But regardless of that, all of us are called here to pray that laborers are sent out. I've been really encouraged on a certain social media post. Turning Point USA has a page, and I've just seen people from all over the state now, posting their pictures saying, "We are Charlie Kirk," right? Charlie was a phenomenal laborer. He went out, and everywhere he went, he's proclaiming the gospel. He's proclaiming the truth of Christ. Not everybody's capable of doing it, but we need to be praying that there are more and more and more men are willing to go into that fight, that everyone be able to have those opportunities to proclaim the truth to others, to bring them out of false ideologies, to bring them out of false understandings of the world. Show people the truth, and they'll follow after it. But if we are mealy-mouthed and talk around certain things, if we decide, I'm not, I'm a Christian, I don't need to get into politics, I don't need to talk about those things, well, then you're missing part of the story. Christ's gospel affects everything. Not just your homes, just not your kids, it affects everything. Without truth, there can be no knowledge. Without truth, there can be no shepherds. We have to have that come to light in our lives again. We have to have a society willing to openly and deeply proclaim Christ into every corner of the life. All right, Artesia, thanks for listening. Let's go ahead and let's take a quick check in on the weather, and we'll come back with our calendars.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. Some showers possible today. We have low pressure crossing over northern New Mexico, and we'll stay in the upper 70s with that cloud cover. A shower may linger into the overnight hours, down to 50, and then we're right back to sunshine on Friday, upper 70s for the afternoon high. Our weekend looks really good. Sunny skies both Saturday and Sunday, mid 70s to low 80s. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
Let's take a look at that weather. Hobbs going to have a high of 80. Roswell, high of 76. Carlsbad, 81. Artesia, 78. Roswell and Artesia look like we're going to be getting some rain throughout the day. Kind of light and steady showers throughout the day. Looks like the majority of it's going to come this afternoon from 12 to 4 o'clock. Rest of the day is going to be cloudy to partly cloudy and nice mild temperatures. So, all right, there's our weather. Let's check in on our calendars. Artesia Public Schools cafeteria. What are you guys having today on the 23rd of October? Let's see. I can't read that. Morning wheat kolaches for breakfast this morning. And for lunch, a ham and cheese sandwich, baked chips, and pineapple tidbits. Over at the meal site today, senior meal site, you guys are going to be having green chili pork stew, salad, flour tortilla, and some plums. At the senior center today. All right. Senior center, hey, you got their normal stuff going on all day long. 9 o'clock painting, 9:30 line dancing, bridge at 1, Texas Hold'em at 2, and tonight a dance. from 7 to 9:30. It's going to be DJ'd by Mari Lynn and Bring Finger Foods. At our library today, from 10:30 to 11:30 is toddler time. And then for the kids, after school STEAM from 4 to 5 today. What's happening over at our schools today? School calendar. Artesia High School is going to be having, and junior high school are going to be having their picture retake day. So if you need to get your picture taken again. Artesia Junior High, 9th grade football at Portales at 4 o'clock. And then let's see. Rest of the schools look like they're having picture day around the other schools today. Junior varsity and varsity boys soccer today at Portales at 4 and 6 p.m. Junior varsity and varsity volleyball today versus Goddard at 5 to 6. And then varsity and junior varsity girls soccer at Portales 3 to 5 today. And Zia School will be having their picture retake from 8 a.m. to 11 a.m. as well. Who's got birthdays on the 23rd? Happy birthday, Nancy Hardwick, Joanne Wright, Rosella Castrol, Tawana Bogle, and Jerry Needham. Have a wonderful, wonderful birthday.
The City of Artesia is proud to announce that we've renewed our agreement with Trans-Aero Medevac. This means that Eddy County residents are automatically enrolled in Trans-Aero's free air ambulance membership program, ensuring there are no out-of-pocket costs that need to be paid if you're flown to a hospital by Trans-Aero. Remember, this benefit only applies to Trans-Aero Medevac. To receive this benefit, ask for Trans-Aero specifically in a medical emergency. For situations where you cannot speak, make sure you have your Trans-Aero membership card alongside either your ID or health insurance card. This will act as a request for Trans-Aero Medevac. You can print out the membership card on the City of Artesia's website. In life's most critical moments, Trans-Aero, the City of Artesia, and our partners stand ready to help when you need it most. If you're an Eddy County resident, take advantage of this free benefit and make sure you fly with Trans-Aero Medevac.
To be a champion, each team member must do their part to help the team win. That is true in business too. Ed Safety and Services LLC want to do their part to help your business win. They specialize in several field services: sandblasting, coating steamers, pressure washing, repairs, and cleanouts. Ed Safety also offers drug and alcohol screening and on-site services and safety trainings to make you better. Ed Safety and Services LLC, 575-736-1047. Proud supporter of the Artesia Bulldogs.
Looking to start, continue, or complete your higher education journey? Join the more than 6,000 fellow Greyhounds on their journey to student success. Eastern New Mexico University offers the most affordable higher education degree in the Southwest, and New Mexico residents can go to school tuition-free with the New Mexico Opportunity Scholarship. With online or in-person degrees, ENMU is the right choice for you. For more information, visit enmu.edu. ENMU, student success. That's what we're about.
Injury, surgery, or illness can set you back, but you don't have to recover alone. At Artesia General Hospital, our rehabilitation services team provides physical, occupational, and speech therapy to help you regain strength, mobility, and confidence. Take the next step toward recovery. Call 575-736-8174 today to schedule an appointment and get back to living life to the fullest.
If you're missing a tooth or several teeth, a dental implant may be the ultimate solution. Implants look and feel so much like real teeth that you probably forget you have an implant. Maupin and Brown Dentistry is one of New Mexico's most experienced implant providers, with literally thousands of implant patients who are absolutely delighted with the results. Call Maupin and Brown today for an evaluation. You'll be surprised how affordable implants can be. Maupin and Brown, your choice for experienced, state-of-the-art dentistry.
Looking for power, performance, and a whole lot of game day style? Come to Major Supply, your one-stop shop for industrial goods and outdoor gear. With the brands you trust, Milwaukee, Rigid, and much more. Built for the job site and tough enough for any task. And when the work's done, gear up for game day with team apparel, sunglasses, and all the sporting equipment you need to play hard and cheer harder. Tools, threads, and everything in between. Stop by today at 1808 South 1st in Artesia or check them out online at MajorSupplyLLC.com.
Fall means Graves Farm and Garden is open and ready to help you stock up on fresh, locally grown produce. Graves Farm has your green chili in half and full bushels, mild, big, Jim, medium, regular, hot, and extra hot. Pumpkin rides each weekend in October, Saturday and Sundays through October 26th. The last day for rides to pick up your pumpkin is Friday, October 24th. That's tomorrow. So you can go on Saturdays from 9 a.m. to 4:30 p.m., Sundays from 1:30 p.m. to 4:30. Rides to pick up of your own pumpkins. Super jumbo pumpkins are available on the ride. Bring the entire family each Saturday and Sunday for a ride out to the pumpkin patch. Located just 6 miles south of Roswell on the Old Dexter Highway at 6265 Graves Road there in Roswell. Follow the signs of Graves Farm and Garden where fall time gets its flavor. All right, Artesia. Hey, let's jump into our pile of flyers and see what is going on around the community. Hey, don't forget, early voting for regular local election is now taking place in Eddy County. You may vote at either the clerk's office in Carlsbad or the clerk's sub office here in Artesia. The last day to early vote is Saturday, November 1st. You got a little over a week left to get in there and do your early voting. And then after that, it closes, and you'll have to wait till Election Day on Tuesday, November 4th. Don't forget to go out and vote. Very important thing. Take part of your community and have your voice heard, right? Let's see. President Trump's prayer initiative is currently going on. Artesia is holding a weekly prayer gathering every Thursday at Lucky Duck Restaurant. From 10 a.m. to 11 a.m., come and go during the hour. Everyone is welcome. Come join and pray for our nation. All right. Let's see. Blood drive on the 23rd today is at Pecos Valley Production at 313 Country Club in Roswell, New Mexico, and that'll be happening from 12 p.m. to 3 p.m. The Independent Electrical Contractors is hosting an apprenticeship expo. So if you know someone interested in getting into being an electrician, you can go up there and talk to industry leaders, training providers, and apprenticeship opportunities happening tomorrow, Friday, October 24th, from 8 a.m. to 2 p.m. at the Southeastern New Mexico College Gym, 1500 University Drive in Carlsbad. Industry presentations begin at 10 a.m. You can go network with people. There's free food, there's entry prize, and there's free entry, and there's tons of prizes. All right. This weekend is the last weekend for Heirloom Acres. So head on out there tomorrow, Friday from 5 to 8 p.m., Saturday 10 a.m. to 8 p.m., and Sunday 2 p.m. to 8 p.m. Located at 1706 East Main Street in Artesia on U.S. Highway 82. Trunk or Treat at the Hermosa Church of Christ in Artesia. It happens this Saturday, October 25th, from 3 to 6 p.m. There will be lots of candy, hot dogs and drinks, and a drawing for a gift basket. If you'd like more information, you can call 575-748-3301. Also happening this Saturday at the Artesia Public Library is the library's Halloween event beginning at 3 and going till 5 p.m. There'll be a spooky tent, popcorn bar, photo booth, games, and more, all at the Artesia Public Library, 205 West Quay Avenue. Immediately following that is the downtown Main Street trick-or-treat from 5 to 7 p.m. here in Artesia. Go downtown, they'll have Main Street shut off. They'll have all kinds of people out there with booths and tables handing out all kinds of candy, so you can go trick-or-treat right there on Main Street. Catalyst Church will be holding a trunk-or-treat as well on Saturday from 5:30 to 7:30 p.m. At their location, 2811 Hermosa Drive. Bring the whole family for a safe, fun evening filled with decorated trunks, candy, costumes, and community fellowship. All right. Wolf Awareness Week. Wolf Awareness Week is happening at the Living Desert Zoo and Garden. They'll be celebrating that week with exhibits, children crafts, and a wolf art contest to be held on Saturday, October 25th. So I got a couple more days. You can go up there and check out everything they've got going on at the Living Desert Zoo and Garden. All right. Young Artist Expo. The Artesia Arts Council presents the second annual Young Artist Expo at the Ocotillo Performing Arts through October 31st. There will be a reception to meet the artist, and it'll be held on Monday, October 27th from 5:30 to 6:30 p.m. Light refreshments will be served, and everyone's invited. For more information, call 575-746-4212 or check out artesiaartscouncil.com. Tickets are now on sale for the Conquistador Council's 100-year anniversary gala. Set to happen on November 8th at 6 o'clock at the Artesia Country Club. Dress code, formal black tie, optional. Tickets are on sale until today. Today's the last day. $65 for single tickets, $100 for couples. And you can get more information by calling 575-622-3461. Next Monday, October 27th, is a parent training opportunity at the Artesia Bulldog Administration and Training Center. They'll be speaking about social media awareness with Nakia Rubio and Abby Jones. So if you're interested in that, folks, you can head on over there and get some good information on kids and social media. The Artesia Public Library is hosting a pumpkin decorating contest where you paint or decorate your pumpkin to look like your favorite book character and enter it into their contest. It goes from October 13th to the 31st. Prizes will be announced on Halloween. There will be People's Choice Awards for the youth, teen, adult, family, and staff winner categories. October is Pastor Appreciation Month. It's a time to set aside each year to honor and give thanks to our pastors who serve us and our communities in remarkable ways. So things you can do: write your pastor meaningful cards, notes of encouragement, have the children in your church make thank you cards or gifts, add new books to your pastor's library, highlight that one, add new books to your pastor's library, shower your pastor with his favorite things, give him a day off. God has instructed us to recognize his servants, and Pastor Appreciation Month is a great time to do just that. Brought to you by Pecos Valley Baptist Association. The Ocotillo is hosting Ghouls Night Out. Clay ghost and trinket dish, $5 per craft. It looks like it's a craft event. That'll be happening on Thursday the 30th from 5:30 to 8:30 p.m. And it is free entry. So if you're interested in that, and we'll hear more about that when they come in later. Let's see. Southeastern New Mexico College Student Government presents Hallowpalooza Thursday, October 30th from 3 to 6 p.m. at the Southeast New Mexico College in Carlsbad. They're going to be having free candy. All right, let's see. The Historical Society for Southeast New Mexico is hosting their historic book fair Saturday, November 1st from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. in conjunction with Museum Day on November 1st. The Archives building will host a historic book fair. As usual, rare out-of-print titles will be for sale. And don't worry, they are all carefully chosen duplicates. New books will also debut, and as part of the History Press Haunted America imprint. So if you'd like more information on that book fair, you can contact them at 575-622-8333 or go on to roswellnmhistory.org. All right. The Balloons and Tunes Festival. Talked about this on Tuesday, but it's coming up quick. November 7th through 9th from 6 a.m. to 8 a.m. at the Eagle Draw Park. There between 7th and 13th Street. You're going to be on hot air balloons, RC balloons, inflatable events, and then that night, a beer garden and live music downtown at 5th and Texas. Free entry. There is a $10 entry into the beer garden. Yeah, and in conjunction with that, there is an inflatable race that morning, Saturday, November 8th, that morning, right after the balloons take off. If you can bring your best inflatable costume and race down Eagle Draw. It says meet at the bounce houses. We're going to start at the bounce houses. Cart document destruction will be happening at the public library south parking lot on Shred Day, Friday, November 14th, from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. Bring any documents you would like to have destroyed. You may also bring magazines, newspapers, and junk mail. For more information, call Artesia Clean and Beautiful at 575-748-3192. All right, I think that kind of wraps it up for all of the stuff I've got in here. Yep, that looks like about it. All right, let's go ahead and take a quick commercial break, and we'll come back and talk about a few things.
With your Pecos Valley news updates, I'm Jared Cirillo. Thanks for joining us. On Saturday, lots of fun will be had at the Artesia Public Library with the Fall Halloween Festival. Come to the library from 3 to 5 on Saturday for all kinds of festive fun, including a spooky tent, games, a photo booth, story time, and much more. The event will be set up in the library's parking lot. It's completely free and open to everyone. In Roswell now, where the city has recently been notified of the award of a state grant to provide funding to help with the city's continuing efforts to improve its animal services facility. The $168,000 grant for Roswell from the State of New Mexico Animal Welfare Fund was approved by the State Department of Finance Local Government Division. The grant, which has no requirement of any matching money from the city, will be used to make improvements at the animal shelter, 705 East McGaffey Street, to include drainage, heating and cooling systems, outdoor turf installation, and interior and exterior painting. You're up to date. I'm Jared Cirillo.
Cold and flu season is almost here, Artesia. Protect yourself and the people you love. At Lowell's Pharmacy, your health is our priority. Getting your flu shot now means peace of mind all season long. It's quick, easy, and covered by most insurance. Don't wait until it's too late. Stop by Lowell's Pharmacy today and roll up your sleeve. Stay healthy, Artesia, with a flu shot from your hometown pharmacy, Lowell's Pharmacy.
It's time for the Eddy County Sports Report. The Artesia Bulldogs boys soccer team has got its last regular season game scheduled tonight at 6 o'clock, playing against Portales. Artesia comes into the game with a sparkling 16-3 record overall, 5-0 in district. Portales is 2-14. But the Bulldogs are licking their wounds a little bit after losing on Saturday in Albuquerque against St. Pius, a team that Artesia often plays in the postseason. Artesia wins that one 5-0. St. Pius is 15-1-3 on the season. So it'll be the last regular season game, but there'll probably be a postseason. There will be a postseason for Artesia. Not so for Carlsbad, losing on Tuesday to Hobbs in Hobbs by a score of 5-1. Carlsbad finishes 3-15. The Sports Report brought to you by DSI. Call DSI for all your office technology needs. I'm Eric Butler at KSVP Radio AM 990.
This past Monday, Amazon Web Services, AWS for short, was hit by a major outage. Apps, websites, and online tools used by millions of people around the world were unavailable for 7 hours. And now, rumors are spreading on TikTok that Amazon took itself down by testing a massive internet kill switch. Let me tell you why that's not true. I'm Kim Commando for SimpliSafe. Visit simplysafekim.com to save 50% on a new system. With a professional monitoring plan, there's no safe like SimpliSafe. We know that thousands of Amazon employees are unhappy campers. Fulfillment warehouse workers don't make much. Half are probably going to be replaced by Amazon robots. They call them, get this, cobots, since they'll be working alongside real people. The kill switch story is false. The internet was specifically designed with no single kill switch. It has no single point of control, but portions of it can be hacked. And for that, suspect China or Russia, but no one can completely shut it down. Sign up for my free newsletter right now at getkim.com. There's a new way to keep your home safe. It's called SimpliSafe. It's completely different from what you think of when I say home security. You see, typical security systems don't prevent someone from entering your home. They only react when someone is already there, and that's too late. Real security stops a crime before it starts. That's why over 4 million Americans trust SimpliSafe to keep their homes and their families safe. The moment someone steps onto your property, AI security cameras identify the threat and alert SimpliSafe's professional monitoring agents. And they act immediately, confronting the criminal, and if they need to, trigger sirens and spotlights and dispatch the police. SimpliSafe is like having your own personal security guard. And with a 60-day money-back guarantee and no long-term contracts, SimpliSafe earns your business by keeping you and your family safe and satisfied every single day. Get 50% off your new SimpliSafe system right now by going to simplysafekim.com. That's simplysafekim.com. There's no safe like SimpliSafe.
Turpin & Son Mortuary of Artesia presents a listing of today's obituaries. We have no new obituaries and no reminders. This listing has been presented as a service by Turpin & Son Mortuary of Artesia. We make it personal.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. Some showers possible today. We have low pressure crossing over northern New Mexico, and we'll stay in the upper 70s with that cloud cover. A shower may linger into the overnight hours, down to 50, and then we're right back to sunshine on Friday. Upper 70s for the afternoon high. Our weekend looks really good. Sunny skies both Saturday and Sunday. Mid 70s to low 80s. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
All right, welcome back. Hey, looking a little cloudy out there. We might get I know we got a little bit of rain as I was leaving the house, but then when I got to town, there was nothing. So it looks like it's going to be sprinkling throughout the day, especially later in the day. It looks like we might have some good steady rains. So, all right. Well, here in a second, Jeff's going to come in and join us. I thought we'd talk a little bit about sports going on and what all's happening here in Artesia, what we've got on the radio this week. I'm going to pull my calendar back up, and we'll discuss that a little bit. I missed the game last week, and I'm so sad I missed the game. But I went to Lubbock to see my daughter, and I was hanging out with her and her friends, so I did not get to see the game. But man, what an awesome score in the back end! I was sitting there, I was checking my score. I was checking the score on my phone the whole time. Artesia defeating Roswell 42-28, which is awesome. Great job, guys. Looking forward to the Goddard game tomorrow night, happening here in Artesia. We've got two more regular season games this week and next week here in Artesia, and then it's off to what do you call it? Playoffs. That's the word I'm looking for. There should be a bye weekend before playoffs begin, right?
As long as we are Still where we are.
Yeah.
The top 4 teams get a bye.
Okay, top 4 teams get a bye week right after regular district play.
Yeah. And
Awesome.
so then, and we should host. I think I don't.
Yeah, because we don't know the
they-
lineup for it. I think we can guess what the lineup's going to be, but
I can't remember of which round is higher seed and which round is who owes who, and
yeah, it gets confusing.
Yeah.
Because like there's the regular district play, they swap back and forth, and then during playoffs, where they played during regular district play doesn't matter. It was where they played each other in the playoffs last.
But I think that's only the semis and the championship. So the quarterfinals are the better team.
Oh, okay.
Hosts.
Okay.
So like
the higher ranked team, gets a host. Okay.
So like the
well, that's
first,
what I was trying to figure out. Like, because the championship's separate from the playoffs too, because if it's wherever you played each other last in championship. Is that right, or is it
in semis or championship? It's
okay.
those two wherever. It's like, okay, if we end up playing Roswell in the state championship, it will be here.
Good.
Because last year it was there, and the year before it was here.
Well, and that's what I thought, but then somebody's like, no, they played it here 2 years. And I'm like, no, I don't think they put. Yeah. So
2 years ago it was here. Last year it was there.
So when we play Roswell for the championship, sorry guys, sorry to all the other schools, but that seems to be what's going to line up again.
Hope so.
So excited about that. I'm ready to get back to a football game. It's been a couple weeks since I got to go to the stadium and watch the football. Hopefully the weather holds.
Yeah, and our all the technology. We had some issues on the game Friday night in Roswell.
Oh, did you? Yeah, like I said, I was gone, so I was just watching the online scoreboard. Is what I couldn't turn on the video.
Internet issues here. Our internet went out, and so we're getting PVT over to.
Oh yeah, you had to have PVT run over.
Yeah, for the third time.
Wow.
Yeah, it was one of those. Okay, everything is fixed. It's all good.
And then nope.
And then right before halftime.
Yeah. Good job, PVT. Swooping in to fix it and get us up and running so we can get that game out there for everybody.
They got it in, so we got a quick fix, and then Saturday we really took care of some things.
So of the games we got today, so we got soccer, volleyball, and boys and girls soccer, volleyball today. What are we broadcasting all that?
We are doing the volleyball.
Because that's here.
Yes, that's here.
So we're going to do video on that?
It'll be video only.
Okay.
And so will the soccer game. The boys soccer.
Boys soccer game, which is here, because the girls soccer game's in Portales.
Yes.
Okay. So you'll be able to watch video of that on KSVPTV.com tonight. So if you can't make it out to the pit or out to the soccer fields, go watch. We can do that.
We'll also have the Zia choir concert on tonight, 6:30 to 8.
That's not even on the calendar. Didn't realize that. So Zia choir concerts tonight at the
auditorium.
At the auditorium.
And we will be streaming it, so you can watch it on
streaming that live.
KSVP TV.
Okay. Well, lots to choose from tonight on KSVP TV, man. I don't know, I can't watch them all at once, so you got to pick your favorite. So, and then of course football game tomorrow will be on the radio. It'll be on TV. It'll be on all of our different platforms.
Yeah, it'll be a good one.
Yeah, that's gonna be a good game. How's Goddard? I haven't really tracked Goddard this year. Like what do you know where they're setting ranking wise?
They're actually
It's like 1, 2, and 3, I think, right?
Well,
are we
Gene
one
and
or still 2?
We're 1.
We're 1.
Yeah.
Okay.
We only have one regular season loss, and that was to Centennial. We're undefeated in district.
Yeah.
Everyone else has a loss or more in district.
Okay. And Goddard will have 2 losses after tomorrow night.
Right, yeah, it was this big. Gene and I were like, okay, if Goddard can do this and that, then they will. And it's
you sit there and you play that game in your head, like, well, a lot of ifs in there,
Oh yeah.
So
and we're looking at the different polls. There's the coaches poll, the max preps. It's all.
I know that stuff is so crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we've got Goddard this week, Mayfield next week. How's Mayfield looking? I really haven't.
They were doing well, and they lost their starting quarterback.
Oh man,
a few weeks ago, and yeah, when you take a team and make them one-dimensional.
Yeah. Well, that's what happened at Texas Tech last week.
Yeah.
Against Arizona State. But the team held its own all the way up until the last 15 seconds, which was very disappointing. I mean, they were up until that last second touchdown that Arizona State pulled out.
Yeah.
So, have you been following what's happening with the Big 12?
No.
Oh my gosh, dude! Of course, right now Tech's dominating. ASU was their first. Is it ASU? Yeah, that was their first loss of the season, and like I said, they lost by 4 points.
Yeah.
Every other game they've won by more than 24 points.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so they're doing really, really good. But Big 12's losing its mind. All right. So for those of you who don't know, Texas Tech has a phenomenal tradition that makes absolutely no sense, but it's so much fun. Is the tortillas tossing?
Yeah.
Right. And so Tech played KU 2 weeks ago. And the KU coach lost his ever-loving mind about the tortillas. He was so angry about it. Tech ended up now listen. Tech won that game by 26 points with 45 yards of penalties for tortillas. They had 3 unsportsmanlike conduct calls, which is 15 yards each, during the game, and still won by 26 points. I think that's why the KU coach was so angry. Like, he just got smacked down, even though like they were getting, unforced.
Oh yeah.
Penalties.
It's what was it? They're saying that they're going to be checking people before they come in and this and that. So I was like, are you going to have like a gluten alarm on?
We get a dog that sniffs out tortillas.
Yeah.
So my daughter was at that game, and but so the coach from KU accused Texas Tech, somebody in Texas Tech, of throwing a pocket knife and hitting the players. And it turns out, you watch the video, it was their assistant coach stuck his hand in his pocket, and the pocket knife fell on the ground. And then one of the players found it. It's like, look.
Yeah.
I'm like, who's up there in the stands? Like, oh, let me throw my pocket knife.
Right.
It's just stupid. But after the game, when the coaches come shake hands, KU coach cusses out the Texas Tech coach, and it's all caught on mic, right?
Yeah.
I mean, he lays into him. So they get fined $25,000.
Oh.
Tech got fined $25,000 for the tortilla throwing. Crazy, right?
Yeah.
Playing ASU last week. After the game's over, the fans bum rush the field, tear down the goalpost, and almost like kill people, like knock people out.
Was it in?
It was in Arizona.
Okay.
Yeah. They bum rushed it. $50,000 fine for that.
Oh yeah.
So like Big 12's like, don't have any fun whatsoever. And so now Big 12's telling Texas Tech, you get one warning. After that, an immediate $100,000 fine.
Wow.
And so Tech has officially banned tortilla tossing. We can't afford $100,000.
When I lived in Phoenix, I can't remember what game it was, but the goalposts were torn down in Sun Devil Stadium, and they ended up on the freeway. Like, I mean, they were
How did they carry them out of the? How did you get them out of the stadium?
Threw them over like an overpass, and it's like, okay,
oh my goodness,
how inebriated were all of you guys to think that's a good idea?
I'm like, that's just absolute insanity. So yeah, like Big 12's going crazy with fines and everything else, and so like I'm normally not a big follower of college football. I don't even watch any professional sports, but this has captivated me because Tech's actually got a winning team this year, and like they're doing phenomenal. Everybody's like, they're going to championships. They're going, they're going to be great. But back to the point of, so they lost their quarterback. They didn't have their star quarterback last week. They still only lost by 4 points. So that tells me the team is really, really doing well. They had a they had a red shirt freshman quarterback in that game, and still, and almost won. So, but yeah, so their quarterback Baron Morton, he I don't know, he threw out a shoulder, something. I think he got tackled and got his arm injured or something during that KU game. So anyway, back to Artesia sports, I guess. So
let's bring it back around.
Bring it back around. It's sometimes I'm the person who brings it back around. Sometimes I'm the person that takes it off into left field. So all right.
As am I.
Yeah. So we also have. I looked on the calendar. We got AHS band state marching contest on Saturday. Are we covering that?
No,
we're not going to cover that. Okay.
We are. For halftime, we'll be playing their the band performance from their competition, contest.
Okay.
We'll be playing that at the bowl on the Jumbotron and everything.
Oh, at our halftime on Friday night is what you're saying. Okay,
because the
band will be out of town, headed towards competitions. Okay, so no band for halftime. We'll do a replay of their competition. So that's good. Cross country. I think you guys should film cross country. Like you can just pick a student and you can run along with them in the camera and follow them. And
we have been asked, and I said if you can get the NMAA to allow drone usage in high school sports coverage, then we can. Otherwise, nope.
You should do the motorcycle thing like they do at the bicycle races in France, like where you ride in front of a cameraman facing backwards. So. All right. Well, that's with this week's sports, right? So if you want to get on this evening, you can watch varsity boys soccer and varsity volleyball tonight. Are you doing full coverage because it says we got a game at 4 and it's at 6?
It's varsity only.
Oh, okay.
JV will be at
6
4.
o'clock. Yeah. Okay, so 6 o'clock tonight for varsity boys soccer on KSVP TV. Varsity volleyball tonight at 6 as well. And then what was the other thing you said we were...
The Zia Choir concert.
Zia Choir. What time does that start tonight?
6 o'clock.
6 o'clock. Everything starts at 6 o'clock tonight. And then, of course, varsity football versus Goddard tomorrow. Awesome.
Oh, yeah.
So we got a lot coming up, and we can watch all of it. All right, Artesia, we're going to take a commercial break. And when we come back on the other side, we'll be joined by Pastor David McGoy from First Methodist Church in Artesia.
With the Wall Street Business Report, I'm Bill Alexander. The government shutdown is now 3 weeks old and rapidly approaching the time when tens of thousands of government employees who keep security lines moving and air traffic safe will miss a full paycheck. Those workers last received paychecks in mid-October, and those checks were already missing up to 2 days' worth of pay. Also, food banks and community groups are seeing a spike in demand as the shutdown continues, while food programs such as SNAP and WIC are going to run out of funding next month. Amazon has introduced advanced eyeglasses for delivery workers for the first time publicly. The glasses have a small screen that gives turn-by-turn directions, scans package codes, and takes photos for proof of delivery. National Football League owners voted to approve the sale of 10% of the New York Giants to Julia Koch and her family. The Mara and Tisch families remain the controlling owners, with the organization saying its leadership structure is unchanged. For the Wall Street Business Report, I'm Bill Alexander in Washington.
I'm Karen Waldrop, and I've made Artesia my home for many years. I've raised my family here, I've worked here, and I've served the community as a pharmacist to keep our families healthy and strong. I'm running for re-election for the Artesia Special Hospital District Ward 5 position because I care deeply about the quality of care for our community. We deserve quality health care right here at home. I'll bring a pharmacist's perspective, fiscal responsibility, and a commitment to keeping Artesia General focused on patient care. I'm Karen Waldrop, and I'd be honored to earn your vote for the Artesia Special Hospital Board, District 5.
Fall is here, and it's time to cozy on up to the Cow, the Calico Cow Fabric and Gift Shop. The Calico Cow is your authorized handy quilter long-arm dealer. They make their own quilts, shirts, and rope bowls right at the Cow, so come in and check out all the fall and Christmas fabrics that are arriving daily, plus stellar fabrics for our interstellar travelers. The Calico Cow has Brothers sewing machines with great fall specials and come with warranties. Plus, they can fix and perform maintenance on all brands. So log on to RoswellQuilting.com to order. The Calico Cow Fabric and Gift Shop, 200 East College in Roswell. Want to know how? Come cozy up to the cow.
Hey, I've had a few drinks. Can you give me a ride home?
Save us all. Make that call. Never drink, then drive.
This message from the Eddy County DWI program.
Welcome to Answers with Ken Ham. The account of origins presented in the Genesis is a simple but factual presentation of actual events and provides reliable basis for man's worldview and a framework for scientific investigation into the question of the origin and history of life. Answers with Ken Ham is brought to you by Harvest Fellowship at 2307 West Main in Artesia. Call Pastor Ronnie Williams at 746-6195. Now, today's Answers with Ken Ham.
The Bible is different. This is Ken Ham, an Aussie transplant with a passion for sharing the truth of God's Word. When reading about artifacts and documents from Bible times, watch for the similarities and differences. You might recognize names, places, or events from the Bible. Some of the myths, like flood or creation myths, may even sound familiar because the true account is recorded in the Bible. But note the differences. The Bible doesn't portray events as if they're myths. It uses historical narrative. Unlike other ancient sources, the Bible presents one true God, the Creator. And in the Bible, God is the source of power, but in other documents, the gods are controlled by magic. The Bible is different because its author is God.
Sign up for daily insights from Ken Ham, delivered to your inbox when you go to AnswersRadio.com.
Grandchildren, the crash announced by Bailey and his wife in a social media post. Tightening the screws on Vladimir Putin, President Trump announcing a new round of sanctions on Russia.
This is a significant shift in policy by the Trump administration, a move designed to inflict enough damage on the Russian economy to encourage President Putin to end the war in Ukraine. Announcing the new sanctions, the U.S. Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent said they were needed to address Russia's lack of serious commitment to a peace process. He called for an immediate ceasefire and urged America's allies to support the U.S. and adhere to the sanctions. The two oil companies are responsible for more than half of all Russian production.
The BBC's Peter Bowes, European Union has agreed on a new round of sanctions against Russia. The EU sanctions target its shadow fleet of oil tankers and ban imports of its liquefied natural gas. Coast Guard says it's providing an operating base for Customs and Border Protection agents in the San Francisco area.
The San Francisco Chronicle reports 100 federal agents are expected to arrive at the base in Alameda starting Thursday. It's part of Trump administration efforts to track down immigrants in the country illegally.
Correspondent Ben Thomas says San Francisco's mayor and California's governor have condemned the move to enforce federal immigration law. As Vice President Vance's visit to Israel wraps up, Secretary of State Rubio is on his way to Israel. Watching Wall Street this hour, stocks are higher. The Dow is up about 37 points. The Nasdaq ahead 108, and the S&P is up 22 points. More on these stories at townhall.com.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-583-0141. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-583-0141. That's 800-583-0141. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
The British antitrust watchdog singles out Google and Apple.
The Competition and Markets Authority escalated scrutiny of the two American tech companies by labeling them with strategic market status, It follows separate probes that the CMA opened into Google's Android and Apple's iOS using newly acquired digital market regulations. The watchdog has said Apple and Google hold an effective duopoly, with 90 to 100% of mobile devices in Britain running on either mobile platform. Google has called the decision disappointing. I'm Charles Villanova.
The director of the world-famous Louvre Museum has acknowledged a terrible failure at the Paris institution after that daylight crown jewel heist over the weekend. Testifying before the French Senate, the museum chief says the Louvre suffers a shortage of exterior security cameras and suffers other weaknesses as well. Townhall.com. It's controversy of historical significance in the Florida Panhandle.
A proposal to sell a city-owned golf course built on top of the burial grounds for enslaved people is sparking public outcry in Tallahassee. The history, long buried under the manicured lawns of the Capital City Country Club, reviving painful memories of the community's segregated past. Less than 1 mile from the state capitol, archaeologists for the National Park Service have now identified 23 unmarked graves and 14 possible graves near the 7th hole of the golf course. Jason Walker reporting.
Tesla reports selling more vehicles in the past 3 months. However, its profits still dropped sharply. Third quarter earnings down to $1.4 billion from $2.2 billion a year ago. More on these stories, townhall.com.
Hi, this is Holly from Nels Floral in Artesia, and we are so happy to be the new florist for the KSVIP. If you know someone who is having a special day or event, a birthday, anniversary, or something big is happening in their life, let's make them the KSVIP. On their day, we'll say something on the radio about your special person, and they will receive a beautiful flower from Nels Floral. So call KSVP at 575-746-2751 and nominate your KSVIP.
All right, welcome back, Artesia, the 8 o'clock hour, Thursday, October 23rd. I'm your host, Scott Pettis, and I'm joined in studio by Mr. You go by Dave or David?
David.
David McGoy.
Unless you're mad at me.
Yeah, unless I'm mad at you. I call you Dave. Pastor David McGoy from First Methodist Church. No more United in there, just First Methodist now. Yeah, there you go.
And I'm kind of
just kind of a general flavor of Methodist.
I'm seeing my picture over here, and we should probably change that out for something. I'm glad this is radio. Golly.
Oh, goodness. That's why people are like, why do you get dressed up for the radio? Like, because it actually gets broadcast online, too.
Yeah, I don't feel like I could do enough to fix that.
Well, David, I appreciate you coming in, especially in short notice. I texted at 7 to all the pastors. I was like, hey, I got an opening. Anybody want to come talk to me? I'm lonely and bored today.
Well, I was at men's breakfast this morning.
Oh,
we have green chili Green Chili Cafe.
Oh, really?
Every Thursday morning.
Every Thursday
7 a.m.
morning.
Anybody's invited. Except for you because you're here.
Except for me, because I'm here. So we should make them broadcast my show on there so I can feel like I'm part of the men's breakfast.
Yes.
Hey, you guys did a really cool thing. I got in the mail the other day, a prayer card that you guys had prayed for the church and for myself. And dude, I appreciate that.
You're
man.
welcome. You're welcome.
That's pretty awesome.
We've started just.
And I love everybody's autographs on there.
Yeah.
You know, like, this is proof that I prayed for you.
That's right. Well, somebody goes, somebody said, we need to quit signing it and writing our names so people can actually read the names on there.
I recognize Ronnie Knoll. There's a few other I can read. Some of them were just, that would be mine. Like, you can't read what I write when I sign my name. It's just scribbles.
Yeah, we started praying. We just started praying for all the churches. Every Sunday we'll pray for 2 there, and then we pray for 2 at the men's breakfast. So.
Amen. That's awesome.
Yep.
So, so what you guys got going on over there at First Methodist Church? How things going?
It's going well.
You settling in?
Yeah, nobody's throwing tomatoes at me, and so that's still going pretty good.
You're wearing orange and black
I'm
almost
wearing
every
orange
day,
and black.
you know?
You can't see it, but I even have.
He's got orange shoes on.
My daughter dressed me this morning, and so she got me these for my birthday. But no, it's going well. We're our big thing coming up now is trunk or treat. November 1st, 5 to 7 for the community.
1st. Yeah, awesome.
Right across the big parking lot from the church. So.
Oh yeah, the big lot right there.
Yeah, the big lot right there. So just come on out and get some candy and
get free candy.
Yeah.
Enjoy the socialist holiday where you teach your children to go around and beg from people.
That's right. That's right. I think I'm gonna do mine in my pickup, and I'm gonna have a fishing rod, so they have to to get it off of it. They got to work for it a little bit.
Work for some candy. Yeah, just come along and get it for free without doing any performance for me. You know,
That's
come on.
right.
Yeah.
Might even cast it out a little bit.
Yeah, exactly. Oh man, so that's good. So church is doing well. You're settling into Artesia. They've already wrangled you into head up the volleyball booster.
Yeah,
I mean you're just full. You know.
Yeah.
No backing out now, man.
I mean, why wait? Just go ahead and get in it. Yeah.
There you go. And I think it's important. I think it's important for pastors to be out and involved in the community. And it's where we meet people. It's where we connect. You know. Get that chance to engage with people who you don't normally see.
Right.
A pastor's life can get very lonely when it's because it's just, you've got your flock and you put a lot of effort into caring for that flock. But we've got to be the leading force to get out in the community and share the gospel, visit with people, get to know them, get into people's lives.
The fun part is when a kid sees you out. Like, somebody that goes to your church and they see you out and about in the community and they are just astonished that you leave the church.
Yeah, that you actually have a life.
You can leave?
Like, what? You like actually go out in public? That's weird.
Or is it they let you out?
Yeah, they let you out. I thought they had you locked up in the basement somewhere.
Yeah. So, but yeah, it's fun. You get to meet people where they are, and I enjoy that.
Yeah.
I enjoy that.
Yeah, it is. I think it's a great way to become part of the city instead of isolating ourselves. And you and I have had this conversation. Just the idea of the isolation of the churches in and of themselves is not a healthy concept.
I think it's very unbiblical, but
it's extremely unbiblical, right? You know, it's interesting. You know, of course. Being on the Reform side, being Presbyterian, we have our presbyteries. We're connected with other churches of like minds and all of that stuff. But and I think that's important.
Yeah.
But at the same time, if you really look at the early church, the ancient church, if you will, that first couple hundred years, there were multiple churches in cities, but they were all together.
Yeah.
Right? Mm-hmm. There were elders at each one. They functioned and communicated as a larger church body, and in just different districts and areas of the cities of like Ephesus and things like that.
Yeah.
And you go, okay, we can do that.
I think it's our drive as a human species to be right, and if we're not right, it's a struggle for us. Instead of saying, well, we're all trying to get the same. We're all trying to do the same thing. We want people to fall in love with Jesus.
We're all headed to the same destination.
And there's different ways to do that.
Yeah.
I think there's going to be a lot of surprised denominational people.
Yeah.
Then they go that the heaven's not split into Baptist, Presbyterian, Methodist.
Exactly.
All they're going to go, what? We can mix?
Well, I'm just looking for the day when we all get there, because if you look at anything in logical argumentation, we have different views on certain things. There's only a couple of options. We can't both be right.
Right.
It could be that you're right and I'm wrong, or vice versa. But my feeling is when we get there, we're just going to find out we were all wrong.
Maybe we're each little right in
like
some
we have
way.
little bits of truth in each little,
It all started when we wanted to change the color of carpet. That's when churches started
it all
splitting.
happened. I just took the carpet out and polished the floors. That was my answer to the. We don't have to argue about what color we want to go back in. If I just polish the concrete.
Yeah.
There you go. So,
as long as you use the right color polish. I mean,
no color.
Okay,
It's
no color at all. Just clear coat.
I just shined. We have shiny concrete.
Okay.
Yeah.
That could work.
You haven't been over yet, have you?
No, I haven't.
Oh, okay, yeah, you got to come over and check it out.
Yeah.
We've got a couple of neat churches. Like we have some really historic architecture in our churches, and I love that about both places. So, of course, I grew up next, one more down,
right,
at First Baptist, but did scouts over at your church as a kid.
See,
and so there's always, I don't know. I think we just put so much weight in, like you said, being right.
I'll tell you what, we had a church retreat a couple of weeks ago up at Sacramento, and when my daughter said this, it kind of just punched me in the gut. She goes, "I just don't understand why churches can't be together."
Yeah.
And she's 15.
Yeah, my 16-year-old's the same way.
And I go,
hey, so Ephesians 4, right? When Christ ascended on high, he gave apostles, evangelists, prophets, pastors, and teachers. For what purpose? For the maturing of the church.
Yeah.
I think we attain to maturity when we can get to the point where we go, all right, we don't necessarily understand everything as well as we think we do.
Right.
Right?
Yes.
And that's a driving force within our church right now is, we hold this general concept of the Reformed tradition, right? Heavy focus on God's sovereignty and His work in our salvation, but we look at it and we go, if you want to baptize your children and your believers, we're going to baptize your children. If you want to wait until your children profess, I'll baptize those children too.
Yeah.
I'll baptize them all.
Yeah.
Right? And I go, if we can agree on that, then we can build a stronger force for the progression of Christ's kingdom. And that's what we're here for.
Yeah. Yeah.
We're not here to attend services and get and receive and get and get and get and get, and go into our little enclaves of doctrinal issues and hide out from each other. And no, we're to disciple the nation, the whole of the nation. Yep. Not just individual souls within the nation, disciple the whole nation. Yep. Right? And until we can come together in unity on that.
Yeah.
Like, all right, that's fine.
Well, that, and I'm doing a Bible study right now, but on Wednesday nights. But the Bible study is really towards what Christ did on the cross, as far as when we accept Him, what happens. That we become the righteousness of God. That we, everything we need, God gives us in that moment, and it sort of. I'm at the point where I have all that. Now my life is me trying to learn how to live in the truth of that.
Yeah. And
I think we're still operating like an Old Testament in limited righteousness. Well, we're trying to earn our way, earn God's love even more. Like we're trying to climb a ladder. I'll get promoted if I do this or pray this much or pray this much. And if we would just live, and I'm stuck on the where Christ on the cross says it's finished. And that's just, it says it's not partly finished. It is finished.
Yeah.
And if we would live in that truth.
Yeah. It's interesting that you bring that up because I think a lot of our division and comes from ignorance of what the other side believes. I don't know much about Wesleyan theology.
Yeah.
I really don't. Haven't studied it. I come out of a general Baptist concept into, then I kind of moved into a particular Baptist, Reformed Baptist movement. And then I just took the next leap, I'm like, hey, I'll baptize babies too, let's go for this, But I don't know much. So what you would be saying, and we'll dumb it down too, but would the Wesleyan theology believe in double imputation? That we receive not just salvation for, forgiveness of sins, but we also we're imputed with his righteousness, his righteous life, like the righteousness of his life.
I would say so.
Okay, yeah. So I mean, we don't have a whole lot of difference then.
Yeah, and it's and also looking at it, and there's really not. I think it's more of, when the because the denominations really started. I mean, if you look back in the New Testament, when Peter or Paul are writing the churches, going, "What are you teaching?"
Yeah.
That to me looks like a part where where denominations started back then.
Right.
That is not what we taught you. I don't know what you're doing, and he corrects them, but it's just been a constant. I mean, denomination means to separate.
Yeah.
And so it's in our DNA as a church right now to separate. And so what's going to happen? I mean, if you look across the churches, every one of them separates.
Yeah. Hey, one of the things that I go back to that Ephesians 4 place again is about talking about our job is to bring the church to maturity, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, maturity means not just going, well, let's dump everything and just all get along. It's not a Rodney King.
Yeah.
It's like, no, it's let's dig in.
Yeah.
And let's look at the differences, and let's all mature in Scripture and grow and find our place. And I think also the maturity is, okay, well, you can worship at your church in your way and with your stuff, and we can do it here. But when we leave those doors, we're together.
Yeah.
Because it's us against the world. It's us against, the forces of evil we find in Ephesians 6. Right. And so I think probably one of the, biggest tactics of Satan is simply this. Well, we'll get them if we do. All can be Christians all they want, but if we get them opposed to one another.
Yeah, And he's sitting back in his recliner.
We're doing all the work for him.
He doesn't have to do a lot. I mean, he's just, oh man, this is going to be a day off. I really don't have to do much today.
Yeah, well, and I look at a town like Artesia, where the majority of the people here are professing Christians, and I go, Satan ain't got a lot of work here to do here because. Not because everybody's, in great sanctification, the whole town's growing in Christ. No, because we'll all sit and bicker among ourselves for so long to where we drive a half of the population like, well, I just don't even want to be part of any of it because of this.
Yep.
And I think that's a big thing. Hey, we got to hit a commercial break. We'll hit a commercial break and we'll come back right after this.
Weather this hour brought to you by Southwest Bearing under new ownership. Custom solutions for your heavy equipment, hydraulic hoses, hose repair, bearings, seals, sprockets, belts, tools, fluids, and fittings.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. Some showers possible today. We have low pressure crossing over northern New Mexico, and we'll stay in the upper 70s with that cloud cover. A shower may linger into the overnight hours, down to 50, and then we're right back to sunshine on Friday, upper 70s for the afternoon high. Our weekend looks really good. Sunny skies both Saturday and Sunday, mid 70s to low 80s. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
Is your old car really scary? Does it look dreadful or smell awful? Don't be afraid. Roswell Ford will take in any trade. Roswell Ford needs your trade, so now is the perfect time to upgrade from your old vehicle and drive home a new Ford or quality pre-owned vehicle. You'll be shocked at how much we'll pay for your old car, truck, or SUV towards the purchase of a new Ford. And don't be frightened by how much you owe on your old car. Roswell Ford will take your trade, even if you owe thousands more than it's worth, so you can upgrade to a new Ford and get massive savings. 0% financing and make no payments till 2026. Worried your credit will make car buying scary? We've partnered with even more aggressive lenders who will push to approve your credit, even if it's less than perfect. All roads lead to huge American-made savings and a better buying experience. Get on board at Roswell Ford, 821 North Main Street in beautiful Roswell. Call 575-623-3673 or online at roswellford.com. 0 APR for 48 months is $20.83 per thousand finance. Interest accrues from date of sale. Subject to lender approval on select vehicles. Offers not combined.
Experience Still Waters with Leanna Crawford, the Still Waters Tour.
He leads me by still waters, till my fears are gone.
With special guest Cade Thompson. Saturday, November 15th at Waymaker Church in Roswell. Get tickets now at leannacrawford.com with VIP package available or at the door. Get your tickets now for the Still Waters Tour featuring Leanna Crawford. Saturday, November 15th at Waymaker Church, 202 South Sunset in Roswell. This is an all-ages event.
Incredible in Artesia is open for business, ready to give you the hometown quality and customer service you know and love. Georgia and her team specialize in in-house design for quality custom business cards at a competitive price. From scanning to desktop publishing, if you need it, they can do it. On Main Street across from the Derek Floor statue in downtown Artesia. For all your printing needs, think Incredible.
Hungry for flavor? Since 1965, La Fonda in Artesia has been serving up some of the most inventive New Mexican dishes around. From rich, slow-cooked red and green chili to sizzling carne avocada, every bite is tradition with a twist.
That chicken enchilada plate, so spicy, so comforting, just what I needed.
Come visit us at 210 West Main in Artesia or call 575-746-9377. We're open Monday through Friday from 11 till 2 and 4:30 to 8. Closed on weekends. Treat yourself to something local. La Fonda, where flavor feels like home.
Looking to buy or sell a home in Artesia? Trust the team that knows this town best. Lois Oliver Real Estate. With years of local experience and a dedicated group of expert agents, we're here to guide you every step of the way. Whether you're finding the perfect place for your family or getting the best value when it's time to sell, Lois Oliver Real Estate is your hometown advantage. Visit LoisOliverRealEstate.com and let's get started today, because no one knows Artesia like we do, and we love it here.
Attention small business owners. Tired of the hassle of managing IT? PVT Internet for Small Business is here to help. With our Smart Biz service and PVT Command Works app, you get business-grade internet and Wi-Fi without the hassle. Perfect for hospitality, retail, industrial, and professional services. Plus, our 24/7 customer support ensures you're never alone. Sign up today and let PVT Smart Biz handle the tech so you can focus on your business. Elevate your business with PVT Internet. Visit pvt.com or call 575-748-1241 to sign up now.
No doubt about it, our favorite season is fall. Leaves fall, temperatures fall, and electric bills fall. Fall brings us the joy of mowing our lawn for the last time and the sadness of picking that last tomato. Here at Roswell Seed Company, we start to talk about pansies, broomweed, and the first freeze. Yeah, we can get downright giddy. This is Ben Manette from Roswell Seed Company, reminding you that fall is when Mother Nature starts to show off. Try not to miss any of it.
Welcome back, Artesia. You're still in studio with Pastor David McGoey. Let's segue. So we talked there at the end, and we're saying like it's fine for us to go into our churches, worship, and preach as we're led within our doctrinal differences, right? We're going to have those. I think for some, and they might struggle with this principle in my mind. Having the worldview, the end times view I have, I see the church in its infancy right now. At most it's a toddler.
Yeah.
I think there's thousands and thousands of years to come, and over that time we'll all grow. And but here we are living in our lifetime, in our space, and we can't force something that's unnatural for everyone to give up all their doctrinal differences and let's just have one big giant church.
Right.
But the point I was getting at is when we walk out of those doors, we have to be united. The churches have to be united across the town for the purpose of the Great Commission, right?
Oh, yeah.
I think we oftentimes get caught up in the concept of the Great Commission as sending missionaries to Thailand, and that's wonderful that we need to do that, but our first and foremost mission field is right here.
Well, and also the I don't know if you'd call it being naive or what, but we went to China.
Yeah.
And when I first going, man, we're going to take Jesus over there, and then the reality set in about 6 months before we left, going, no, Jesus is already there.
Yeah.
We're just going to love on these people and do things like that. And I think that's the same kind of, Jesus is already there. It's kind of like when he called Peter out of the boat.
Yeah.
Jesus wasn't standing at the boat saying, "Hey, Peter, go over there."
Yeah.
He called him to where he already was.
Yeah.
And just, as simple it is, in Artesia, when we go to the grocery store, we go to eat, or we do those things, Jesus is already there. We're just going to meet him there and see what he does.
Yeah, and, on the front of our church says all of Christ for all of life. And the principle behind that is that what happens on Sunday is the gathering of God's body to worship, right? That's the purpose. That's what we're there to do. Gather together, worship the Lord, give glory unto him, receive his graces in that worship. But the real work of the church happens, Monday through Saturday.
Oh, yeah.
Work 6, rest 1, right? And so the real work of the church is us going out and living our lives, making sure that Christ is in our education, making sure that Christ is in our businesses, and living out a life so imbued with Christ in the Spirit that it naturally comes around, and we affect people's lives, and we change things, and we change the people around us just by the way we're living in Christ. I look at the early church. You look at things like the Didache and everything else, and you look at how those early Christians lived in Rome and stuff, and they were just going out and caring for the people around them.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And people are like, well, what about street preaching? I'm like, well, here's my street preaching. I'm doing it right now.
You do it every Tuesday and Thursday.
Tuesday and Thursday, right? Because if I just stood on the corner, nobody would talk to me. Now I make you to listen to me.
That's right.
But I look at the end of Acts 2, and that's kind of our church section there, the end of Acts 2, right after Pentecost. They were getting together to worship. They were witnessing in the lives of people around them. They were gathering together and breaking bread and living. And it says, and Christ added to their number daily.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
For all the church growth stuff and all the things that have been published over the decades of, well, you need to do this, and you need to do this, and you need to do this.
Yeah.
No, I don't. Just live life in Christ, and if I'm doing what he says and living it in my life, it's there.
Yeah.
Right?
We're trying to do the stuff that we're not called to do. We're trying to do what Christ says he's going to do as a church. We're trying to take his responsibility on instead of just being like, I look at Wednesday night, if you have a Wednesday night or a Sunday night, I look at that as a place where we as a church, we refill our cup.
Yeah.
And I use the, that we want to share Christ with the overflow of our cup. And if we're not involved in a community like that, then how do you, I'm not saying that's the only place you can fill your cup.
Right.
But as busy as we are, moving here, I thought I was busy other places, but holy cow.
Artesia is a consuming town.
Yes, it is. And so, but I have to take those opportunities, and your church members have to, and other church members of all of Artesia use those times to fill the cup to overflow. So when we go out on Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Wednesday, whatever, we can feed people with the overflow.
Yeah, exactly.
And then because burnout happens when you start feeding directly from your cup.
Yeah.
And I want to be Christ to others with the overflow of what Christ has given me.
Yeah.
And then take the pressure off of myself that I have to. I'm just called to plant the seed.
Yeah. Or water
or whatever. But Christ is going to grow it.
Yeah.
I just have to, in the Old Testament, when the disciples were called Christians, they were being made fun of.
Yeah.
Because that's what they were called. They didn't call themselves that.
Yeah.
But they were called that because that's how they lived.
Yeah.
Like Christ. And so we just got to do it.
Well, and I think one of the things, I like your analogy of the overflow of the cup but directing that overflow. Where does it need to go?
Mm-hmm.
Right? Everybody's got their different specific capabilities and giftings, and where are you employing those for the kingdom?
Yeah.
What are you doing to pour into the people around you? Whether it be just and some people have got a little bit of overflow, some people got a lot of overflow. we have to watch. That's our job as the shepherd, to watch to make sure that overflow is going in good directions and that it's being done properly and protecting our flocks. I said in the thing I want to talk, and we'll talk about this more next segment. We're gonna do a jump to a commercial break real quick again here in a second, and then go into our next segment. But what I'm looking at is going, okay, I examine the city around me and I go, well, what portions of it? I think of things in communities and groups, right? Where is it that we're best suited to pour into? And I've at this point semi-chosen one that I think most pastors have avoid, and that's our political realm.
Yeah.
I think exactly right. And so I want to talk a little more about that when we come back. So think on that in the break. Is what that in the way Christ called us to. All right, let's take one more commercial break, and we'll come back after this.
With your Pecos Valley news updates, I'm Jared Cirillo. Thanks for joining us. On Saturday, lots of fun will be had at the Artesia Public Library with the Fall Halloween Festival. Come to the library from 3 to 5 on Saturday for all kinds of festive fun, including a spooky tent, games, a photo booth, story time, and much more. The event will be set up in the library's parking lot. It's completely free and open to everyone. In Roswell now, where the city has recently been notified of the award of a state grant to provide funding to help with the city's continuing efforts to improve its animal services facility. The $168,000 grant for Roswell from the State of New Mexico Animal Welfare Fund was approved by the State Department of Finance Local Government Division. The grant, which has no requirement of any matching money from the city, will be used to make improvements at the animal shelter, 705 East McGaffey Street, to include drainage, heating and cooling systems, outdoor turf installation, and interior and exterior painting. You're up to date. I'm Jared Cirillo.
All across America, this is the Red Apple Audio Network's Market Report, sponsored by Abacus Global Management.
Good morning. The stock market's mood is being described as more watchful than exuberant right now, with tech and AI stocks so high they're looking for and seeing some rotation into so-called non-tech stocks. That might keep stocks rising. 87% of non-tech companies that had reported the other day had beat earnings estimates. Tesla reported a 12% increase in revenue, but profits fell. Southwest Airlines beat forecasts. Generac Generators stock has fallen 2 days in a row, said to be due to a mild hurricane season and a generally soft home improvement spending environment. Meta has laid off 600 employees in its AI division. AT&T added more new wireless companies than expected with bundled deals and iPhone promotions. Retailers say more customers are coming in for fashion items, but sales are down, maybe because of the prices. The shutdown government will try to get a new inflation report out tomorrow, but there's skepticism about how accurate it will be. New users will have to get their face scanned to use Tinder dating app to confirm that they match their profile. With business, I'm Joe Connolly.
This is the Red Apple Audio Network's Market Report, sponsored by Abacus Global Management.
What if the future of finance wasn't built around averages, but around you? At Abacus Global Management, we're reshaping financial planning around the most personal data point, your lifespan. But it's more than just insight, it's control. As a technology-driven asset manager, we're empowering investors with an integrated system to take command of your time, your future, your financial destiny. This is a new era of investing. Take control at abacusgm.com.
With your Cowboys Report, I'm Christy Scales. The first player Dallas signed in free agency goes against the former team that let him walk away without a contract offer. Javonte Williams talks about his homecoming in Denver this Sunday, right after this.
A true Dallas Cowboys fan is there for the journey and the destination. This is the season to make your journey count by flying through McAllen International Airport, the South Texas airport of the Dallas Cowboys. Whether you're flying down for McAllen's award-winning fall and holiday festivals, or you're a South Texas fan flying up to cheer the Cowboys on, make your journey as satisfying as your destination at the South Texas airport of the Dallas Cowboys. McAllen International Airport, above, beyond, at McAllenAirport.com.
I'm home. Hey, Mom, before you ask, I've done my homework and the dishwasher's unloaded.
Nice.
Can you...
Hey, hon, yes, I've got the finale ready to play. Here's your wine.
Isn't it nice not having to ask? We think so. That's why if there's a network interruption, AT&T will proactively credit you for a full day of service. Guaranteed. Credit for fiber downtime lasting 20 minutes or more, or for wireless downtime lasting 60 minutes or more caused by a single incident impacting 10 or more towers. Restrictions and exclusions apply. See att.com/guarantee for details.
4 years ago, running back Javonte Williams was the toast of the town in Denver, topping 1,000 rushing yards as a Bronco rookie. The next year, he suffered a devastating knee injury. Now he's in his first year with the Cowboys and has already scored 7 touchdowns in 7 games. But Javonte says there's no hard feelings this Sunday when he returns to Denver because he feels like the Cowboys were the perfect landing spot.
Once free agency started, phones started ringing. I felt like the Cowboys was the best place for me. You can't just try to key in on one player because there's other players that can hurt you too. And then the O-line, they're doing a great job. And then you got a veteran quarterback that's playing lights out. So it ain't one thing that you can focus on.
It'll be tough sledding for Javonte and the Cowboys this Sunday. Denver leads the league in sacks and ranks 3rd overall in total defense. Kickoff Sunday afternoon is 3:25 Central. With your Cowboys Report, I'm Christy Scales.
Weather is brought to you by Smith Paint Company, your home for Benjamin Moore paints, Hunter Douglas curtains, and so much more. Locally owned and operated for over 50 years. Stop by 1608 South Main in Roswell.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. Some showers possible today. We have low pressure crossing over northern New Mexico, and we'll stay in the upper 70s with that cloud cover. A shower may linger into the overnight hours, down to 50, and then we're right back to sunshine on Friday. Upper 70s for the afternoon high. Our weekend looks really good. Sunny skies both Saturday and Sunday. Mid 70s to low 80s. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
All right, welcome back, Artesia. Hey, all right, so now we're going to get David in trouble.
I'll get my resume ready.
We're going Hey, I might have opening next door, you know. I just need you to affirm the Westminster, man. Not a big deal. Not a huge leap.
Huge.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, not huge. Gosh.
Oh, no. We won't get you in trouble here. But I do want to talk, you know, and I love talking to other pastors about this and getting views. And, you know, we often get into our theological bubbles, and we have people affirm everything, you know, like, was it confirmation bias, right? You know, we get in our confirmation bias circles and like, yeah. We all get riled up, and we miss something because there isn't a dissenting voice there, right? So you heard me on Tuesday. I was talking about going out to the rally, trying to engage.
Yeah.
It was just the setup was not conducive to that whatsoever. But I have a feeling as I look at our current cultural landscape, the probably the most neglected place of a firm, unwavering presentation of the gospel just so happens to be in our what I refer to as the magistrate. You know, I use the biblical term of magistrate, right? We don't have the gospel being spoken direct. Now, you know, of course, if those people are coming to church, they hear a basic gospel presentation or whatever. But are we doing our due diligence by, or are we not doing? Are we avoiding our due diligence by avoiding going to the magistrate and going, hey, you know, that thing you voted on the other day, that's an abomination to God.
Yeah.
And you need to stop. you will be judged. There is judgment, and or going in and saying, the law of God is what is supreme over our state, not secularism, not pluralism. So I feel, and I'm always cautious because not everyone's gifted in that area.
Right.
So I hate anybody who goes, well, all pastors should do this. Like all pastors should street preach. Not everybody's gifted at street preaching.
I'm not a street preacher.
It takes a certain personality type and a quick-wittedness to engage in these crazy things that come at you. Not everybody's gifted in that area. In the same realm, not every pastor spent the large majority of their life listening to talk radio and being so involved in politics their whole life, like someone in this room.
Not me.
So it doesn't resonate with them, right? But I do believe that Christians, those laborers called to the harvest, one of the biggest fields we're ignoring harvesting is our political realm.
Yeah, I think a lot of it is too the fear that comes with it. Especially for some pastors, I would say you're not there, but for some pastors is because you have a whole bunch of mix, a diversity of people that come in there with a whole bunch of different thought ideas, and trying not to alienate one that might be different from you or a different thought process and all that. But I do agree at some point, we're talking about this last night in our Bible study, is at some point, where do you say enough? At some point, where do you say, okay, I'm going to follow what Christ wants me to do regardless of the consequences of that? Fear, I believe, keeps us from doing that because we'll lose our job, we'll lose friends, we'll lose whatever you're going to lose.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of fear, I think, that comes along with that because, ultimately, some people have that desire, whether it's right or wrong, that they want to be liked, that they want to be accepted, that they want to be listened to. You asked me when we started, how's it going? And I said, oh, great, nobody's throwing tomatoes yet.
Yeah.
And so it's one of those deals where I think it's fear that drives it, which, how many times in the Bible it says, do not fear.
Fear no man.
Yeah. And so I think that drives a lot of it as far as why people don't. But Christ brought a kingdom. When he came, he brought the kingdom of heaven with him. And so
it is at hand.
Yeah. And so, it's just how do you do it? Because if I have somebody like what you were talking about with your example as far as, hey, why did you follow this? I also want to reach them and plant a seed in them. And so I think it's the gift, like you said. I'm not a street preacher. They actually bother me, but I know that they're needed. And some people do it better than others.
Yeah.
And so it just...
Well, we discern between street preachers and street screechers.
Yeah. There you go. There are
street screechers.
Yes. Because I'll watch them on Instagram or something. I go, what good is that doing?
Yeah.
There's a way to do it.
Yeah, there is.
And I'm not saying I know it.
There's a way to do it lovingly. There's a way to do it with humility and grace and everything else, and the guys who just stand out there and scream and yell, you're going to hell, you're not accomplishing anything.
You're right. Peter was protecting Christ and cut off an ear.
Yeah.
And that was not the way to do it.
Right. Yeah. Exactly. Excuse me. No, I agree with you. I think it has to be dealt with. I do believe that there's even times it needs to be dealt with from the pulpit. When Charlie was assassinated, I switched gears, and I spent 5 weeks speaking about Ephesians 6 and the battles against the powers and the principalities. And I go, we have to realize that's where we're at. And it's funny. I think for so long we've thought of just as our Christian walk as the churches and everything else as just a place of refuge, a hospital for sick souls, and I think it is. Well, I would really call it, a rehab center where we're going to push you outside of your comfort zone and make you grow muscles that, go through that physical therapy, that spiritual therapy where you need to grow and you need to be pushed outside of your comfort levels, not have your false ideologies affirmed or coddled. I don't. No growth ever comes out of comfort.
Right. Yep.
Growth always comes out of stress, and so I look at that and go, okay, we have to, I think, as churches, not only preach it from our pulpits, but preach it into where the magistrate's at. If they're not coming to us, then we need to go to them.
Yeah.
And I think it needs to be said loudly and clearly, and I think that's, I don't look at our administration and go, we have a Christian administration, because we do not.
Yeah, right.
But we have enough strategically placed believers within it, I think, now, and they're not being hampered from speaking truth.
Right.
But how many? That's encouraging.
But how many people, if you look at Scripture, that were in, kings and different authorities that God used even through that. I mean, it's not. I think, and like you said, Daniel, he used Daniel to influence, and so I agree. I 100% agree with that. I think it's just I think a big part of the problem is the ones that aren't gifted in what you're talking about to do it, and they make it more about themselves rather than the reason why they are doing it.
Yeah.
They're
they do it for influence, for popularity.
Yeah, it's not about, it's more of look at me rather than, hey, I want you to see Christ in this.
Exactly.
And I think that's the big problem. That we want it to be about, when I say we, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That it's about more of us rather than, hey, this is why I think it's wrong.
Yeah.
This is what Scripture says. This is how Christ, Jesus clearly says, if you've seen me, you've seen the Father. Yeah. And so I want it.
Yeah. Yeah, well, and Paul, says, imitate me as I imitate Christ.
Yeah.
As pastors, that's got to be our goal.
Right.
To be able to say to our people, imitate me as I imitate Christ. And the funny thing is, there's a lot of evangelists in the Bible.
Yeah.
I'll actually associate myself to one that was sent purely to deal with a political issue, and that was Jonah. I'm kind of like Jonah.
Yeah.
Because when I stood on the other side of that highway or that road the other day, and I'm looking at him, there's parts of me like, I don't even want to talk to you.
Yeah.
Like, I just, whatever, let them, but I go, no, I'm being sent. I've got to speak. I've got to deal. I've got to talk. I've got to proclaim, Christ before them. And he went directly to the king.
Yeah.
Of Nineveh, it wasn't he's like, hey, this is what's going to happen to your people. And I think that's the heart of the matter. I think of political engagement for us is going to him, going, look, you're leading your people, right? You're leading your people into death and destruction. You need to repent and come back. You know, there's no political leader out there that can force this nation to repent of its sins.
Right.
But if they see him, and they see the leadership of this nation being repentant, turning away from sin, bringing forward goodness in the magistrate, fulfilling Romans 13. Everybody loves to look at Romans 13, and they only see it from the perspective of themselves.
Yeah.
Which I think that's an issue all across reading the Bible.
Yeah.
It's me. No, this isn't about you.
Yeah.
But we read that and we go, well, okay, you need to obey the magistrate. Well, but do you read the rest of it?
Yeah.
What the magistrate's role is?
Right.
If the magistrate isn't fulfilling that role, then we have to go to him and go, look, this is what Scripture says your job is, to bear the sword against evil for good. If you're not doing that, then you're an ungodly magistrate, and you need to bow before the king and repent.
Yeah. Well, and I think once power and money come into play,
oh yeah,
it's a powerful spirit.
Yeah.
Of power and money. And you can even just tell the grip that it has on the political realm, on the political environment. So. That I'll do whatever it takes for me to stay with this power, with this money, all those kind of things. And so,
well, but you know, then we can turn back to where I started the day, and you know, what did it say Christ was doing? He was going, he's preaching in all the synagogues, right?
Yeah.
Well, if you guys don't realize this or not, our magistrate is a synagogue, but right now it's a synagogue of Satan.
Yeah.
And it needs to be preached into. Don't worry about the results. The results aren't in your hand anyway.
Yeah.
That's a beautiful part of being reformed. I don't know.
I don't care.
I'm just going to say it. Yeah. Spirit's going to do with it what he will.
That's great.
You know, sovereignty of God, man. I'm just here to say what he said, you know, because that's all I've got.
Yeah.
I've got no witty. It's not my wit. It's not my ability to speak. It's not any of that.
Yeah.
Because all of that's just a gift of God. So whatever I put out there, you know, planting and watering.
I think the other hard part is the one that if you went, when they look at you and go, I don't care.
Yeah. Well, I
mean, and that's, you know, and then you're going, okay, well, but then we have to have the mindset of, well, I did what I feel like I was supposed to do. Yeah. And, you know, whether there's a change or not a change, or they kick you out and say, hey, he's banned from the building, or she, whoever. Yeah. But it's still, I think, something that we need. I mean, I think we've just been too quiet because we don't want to hurt people's feelings.
Well, you know, and Christ told the disciples, and he says, you know, if they won't listen, shake the dust off your feet and move on.
Get out, you know.
Right? But at no point did he ever say, don't go get dust on your feet.
Right. Oh, yeah.
You got to get the dust on your feet before you can shake it off. And that's the thing. Like, so we've got to go into those places, and I think if we continue to ignore that as an integral part of our society that needs to be spoken into.
Well, and I think church leadership too. I mean, like at the top. I mean, I have people above me.
Yeah.
You know, I have a presiding elder that's over this area, and then I have, you know, above him, I have a supervisor that's above him, and then I have a bishop. You know, and those things like that. And so it's also one of those deals is where are they at?
Yeah.
Where are they on this issue? Or, and I'm not saying they're not. I'm just saying in general of all denominations that have that hierarchy, if you want to put it that way.
Yeah.
You know, one of the big problems I had in the past was people making a promise to follow something and they're not doing it.
Yeah.
But then the leadership wasn't doing anything about it.
Right.
And so,
yeah, it puts you in a hard position because, especially in a denomination like yours, where there can have an effect, you know, in your job, in your life, and everything else. And so, it becomes hard. It is a difficult task, and it is a weighty thing to deal with.
But I think I'm also at the point now where, if something comes up, I can walk away. Like I can do what I'm doing out of my house. I mean, exactly. I'd have to find a job, but I can, just because if I'm not in a pulpit or if I'm not at a church or something like that, I can still do what God's called me to do. It just might be look a little bit different. And so, but before I got to feed my kids, I got to provide for my family, I've got to do all those things, and now I'm at the point where God has brought me here, not me, but God has brought me to a point. Goes, hey, I've taken care of you since you were before you were born.
Right.
I'm going to take care of you. Don't feel like I'm going to leave you.
Exactly.
And so I'm there on that. I can walk away if something comes up where I don't.
Yeah. Well, Dave, I appreciate you. David. I was mad at you. I appreciate you coming in, brother. Thanks for the conversation.
Oh, man, anytime.
And I hope it blesses the city. All right, Artesia, we're going to go to commercial break, and we'll see you on the other side of the hour.
What does it mean for a roofing contractor to have heart? How about braving a 24-hour road trip with a bad back and a 20-foot-long trailer through Interstate 40? You heard that right. A local business needed a new roof, but this business did not want just any roof. They desired a schoolhouse roof with red shingles. Well, we wanted to give our customers exactly what they were asking for. The only problem was that the red color of shingle they were looking for had been discontinued in our local region. But we didn't give up then. We were told by our supplier that the schoolhouse red color of shingle that we were looking for was still available in Arkansas. So we did what was expected of us and drove 24 hours, and we delivered on our promise. If you need a roofer who delivers on their promises, call Trustmark Roofing today at 575-755-7663.
Trustmark Roofing, we put people first.
I'm Karen Waldrop, and I've made Artesia my home for many years. I've raised my family here, I've worked here, and I've served the community as a pharmacist to keep our families healthy and strong. I'm running for re-election for the Artesia Special Hospital District Ward 5 position because I care deeply about the quality of care for our community. We deserve quality health care right here at home. I'll bring a pharmacist perspective, fiscal responsibility, and a commitment to keeping Artesia General focused on patient care. I'm Karen Waldrop, and I'd be honored to earn your vote for the Artesia Special Hospital Board, District 5.
Dreaming of your perfect home? Ramona and Roger Kilpatrick at RE/MAX Axiom invite you to discover the joy of making that dream come true. As agents deeply rooted in Artesia and the surrounding area, they bring years of combined experience and a true passion for real estate. Whether you're buying or selling, Ramona and Roger's friendly and approachable nature ensures you feel right at home, making every step of the process enjoyable. Visit RE/MAXNMAxiom.com to see the latest listings or stop by their office in Artesia at 402 West Main, Suites D and E. RE/MAX Axiom, where your dream home becomes reality.
As the seasons change, it can be a great time to refresh your oral health too. Here's a few fall tooth care tips from Smile Expressions in Artesia. Fall is a great time to switch out your toothbrush. Toothbrushes should be replaced every 3 to 4 months. With fall coming comes fall baking, which means lots of sugar-laden treats. In addition to the goodies, try reaching for fruits and vegetables that are rich in fiber. And as the end of your insurance year approaches, now could be the perfect time to take advantage of any unused dental benefits. Please call and schedule your appointment today at Smile Expressions in Artesia.
No doubt about it, our favorite season is fall. Leaves fall, temperatures fall, and electric bills fall. Fall brings us the joy of mowing our lawn for the last time and the sadness of picking that last tomato. Here at Roswell Seed Company, we start to talk about pansies, broomweed, and the first freeze. Yeah, we can get downright giddy. This is Ben Manette from Roswell Seed Company, reminding you that fall is when Mother Nature starts to show off. Try not to miss any of it.
Visit to Israel. Vice President Vance is condemning an Israeli parliament vote on annexing the West Bank.
Somebody told me that it was a political stunt, that it had no practical significance. It was purely symbolic. I mean, look, if it was a political stunt, it was a very stupid political stunt, and I personally take some insult to it.
Vance is on the same page as Secretary of State Marco Rubio, who's now headed to Israel. The Trump administration turning up the heat on Vladimir Putin, slapping sanctions on Russia's 2 biggest oil companies. Ukrainian President Zelensky says it's quite clear that Russia will not commit to serious ceasefire talks without some serious arm twisting.
Ceasefire is possible, of course, and I think all of us need ceasefire. But we need more pressure on Russia for ceasefire.
A warning to radio and TV station operators from FCC Chairman Brendan Carr.
Giving a monopoly to one entity on these particular airways, and so what the federal government expects is that you look out for not just your own partisan or narrow interest, but you're looking out for the broader public interest of the community.
And if they don't, Carr tells the Salem Radio Network that holders of broadcast licenses could lose those licenses. Portland Trail Blazers head coach Chauncey Billups and Miami Heat guard Terry Rozier among more than 30 people arrested in connection with a federal investigation into illegal sports betting. Federal government shutdown drags on after Senate Democrats once again torpedoed a Republican bill to reopen the federal government and begin budget negotiations. Another suspected drug-running boat blown to smithereens off the coast of Colombia. The vessel taken out by the U.S. military. It is the second such strike in the Pacific. Watching Wall Street, the Dow is 64 points higher, while the NASDAQ is up 142 points. More on these stories, townhall.com.
Hey, I'm Mike Slater. My dad passed away at the age of 63. It's out of nowhere. Had a stroke. Super hard, obviously, for the whole family, but my dad had life insurance. This is why I have life insurance for my family, for my wife and 4 kids. And the best place to get life insurance is ethos.com, because you can do it in 10 minutes. And there's no medical exam and no blood test, just a few health questions. Get life insurance in 10 minutes so your family is protected. Ethos, E-T-H-O-S. Ethos.com/Mike.
The Dinesh D'Souza Podcast, now available on the Salem Podcast Network.
This is a comeback of really providential proportions. There has to be some sort of higher purpose or higher plan. I think we can see now what that plan was, and that is that God, it appears, had something in mind, a big project, if you will, for Donald Trump.
Subscribe to the Dinesh D'Souza Podcast on Apple, Spotify, YouTube, Rumble, or at SalemPodcastNetwork.com.
New York City's three mayoral candidates share the stage for the second and final debate of the campaign.
Former Governor Andrew Cuomo said in Wednesday's debate, carried by Spectrum News New York 1, that if front-runner Zohran Mamdani won, President Donald Trump would take over the city. Republican Curtis Sliwa accused Cuomo and Mamdani of antagonizing Trump, and Mamdani questioned Cuomo about sexual harassment allegations that forced Cuomo's resignation as governor.
Describing these allegations as entirely political.
Cuomo fired back.
Fully litigated for 4 years, the cases were dropped.
Sliwa accused both men of fighting like kids in a schoolyard. I'm Donna Warder.
Tropical storm Melissa lumbering through the Caribbean Sea, bringing a risk of dangerous landslides and life-threatening flooding to Jamaica and southern Hispaniola. Melissa forecast to move gradually in the coming few days. Could be a hurricane by Friday. News and analysis, townhall.com. Strange bedfellows indeed.
Prince Harry and Meghan have joined a diverse group, including Steve Bannon and Glenn Beck, to call for a ban on AI superintelligence that threatens humanity. Released Wednesday, their joint letter targets tech giants like Google, Meta, and OpenAI. It urges a prohibition on developing superintelligence until safety and public consensus are assured. The letter highlights concerns about AI's potential risks, including economic disruption and security threats. Keith Peters, Washington.
Tragedy has befallen the family of the Illinois Republican gubernatorial candidate. Helicopter crash in Montana. It has claimed the life of Darren Bailey's son, Zachary, along with a daughter-in-law and 2 grandchildren. The crash announced this morning by Bailey and his wife, Cindy, in a post to social media. More on these stories, townhall.com.
Hi, this is Holly from Nels Floral in Artesia, and we are so happy to be the new florist for the KSVIP. If you know someone who is having a special day or event, a birthday, anniversary, or something big is happening in their life, let's make them the KSVIP. On their day, we'll say something on the radio about your special person, and they will receive a beautiful flower from Nels Floral. So call KSVP at 575-746-2751 and nominate your KSVIP.
All right, welcome back, Artesia. Hey, I hope you really enjoyed that last hour. It's something I've been trying to get going. Try to get our spiritual leaders of this city to come together and come in and visit and stuff. So if you're a pastor out there and you listen to it and you want to get on, all you got to do is reach out to me at 575-513-2117, and we'll get you on. We'd love to talk to you about what's going on in your church, what's going on in the community, and just try to find that point of agreement where we can go forward and talk about the future of Artesia and the spread of the gospel throughout. Hey, so we're going to hear in a little bit. We should be joined by somebody from the Ocotillo, and they'll come in and give us an update on what they've got going on. I had a story I was wanting to talk about, and we'll probably talk about it later in the outdoors. I don't know if you guys watching the news and everything right now. One of the funniest deals going on in the media, the larger media right now, not social media necessarily, it is happening there as well, but is this giant hissy fit that is being thrown about the remodel of the White House. Now, I saw stuff yesterday that, the plans changed and they're going to tear down the entire East Wing or something. I don't know if that's true or not. If it is, as long as it's improved, I don't see the problem, as this project continues. I think it's really cool. I think the idea of having a big, giant, big, beautiful ballroom, as he calls it, I think it's a good idea. I watch a lot of the state dinners and stuff that we host, and you watch the videos of it, and it's kind of measly and sad looking, and so I don't think there's anything wrong with wanting to add, and the fact that it's privately funded. Wow, that for me that's huge. When I think for so long we've taken this idea of government as it should just be its own entity over here doing its own thing, and we'll just send its taxes to it, and everything has to be done within this. The government is for and by the people. That means get involved, and that goes back to what I was talking to last hour with David. Is there the magistrate, the government, whether state, local, county, national, whatever. Is not meant to be isolated off on its own, doing its own thing based upon its own opinions, based upon it. There needs to be injection and input from the people, and there needs to be involvement by the people. That's the big thing. Involvement doesn't just happen on election day. Yes, we should be examining who it is we want to elect to certain offices and things of that nature, and then once they're in office, holding them to task, right? Getting in there and calling them to do the right things throughout their tenure as our leaders, because they're not perfect. They're not like most of them aren't even experts at what they're doing. The ones that are experts are the ones I actually worry about. The ones that have been in office 20, 30, 40 years or whatever. They're the ones I do worry about the most. And because they've learned to play a game to get what they want in order to get elected again. And if that's your driving force behind what you're doing governing, there's a serious problem. There's very few politicians that I look at now when they say they're actually wanting to serve the people that elected them. There are very few of them I actually believe. Most of them, I think, at this point are there to serve themselves, serve their own interests, and serve their own plans and purposes. So let's just be involved, ladies and gentlemen, and be involved in the sense of this. Know what's right and wrong. Know from Scripture how it is that things should be done, and call our leaders to task on that, and don't be afraid of it. Don't be fearful of calling that out and pointing to them, going, look, right here, what you're doing is sinful. What you're doing is wrong. It's against what God has said should happen and how it should happen. God has not left us destitute of direction of how to run a nation and how to run our homes, our churches, our cities, and our nation. So let's get involved. Let's be out there and be productive. And if you can pour into that, as David said earlier, if your cup runneth over, then take care of things that need to be taken care of without expecting the government to take care of it. So, all right, hey, let's go ahead and take a quick commercial break, and hopefully right after that, our next guest will be in, and we'll talk to them.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. Some showers possible today. We have low pressure crossing over northern New Mexico, and we'll stay in the upper 70s with that cloud cover. A shower may linger into the overnight hours, down to 50, and then we're right back to sunshine on Friday. Upper 70s for the afternoon high. Our weekend looks really good. Sunny skies both Saturday and Sunday. Mid-70s to low 80s. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
Innovation, service, integrity, and knowledge. J.S. Ward and Son Insurance Agency. Auto and home, life and health, personal and commercial. Bonds too, since 1925. We have the coverage for you. Innovation, service, integrity, and knowledge. J.S. Ward and Son Insurance Agency.
Supporting Artesia General Hospital means supporting our community. Renewing the mill levy keeps healthcare close to home with state-of-the-art technology, hospital upgrades, and expanded services that benefit every Artesia family. From surgery and women's health to local jobs, your yes vote makes the real difference. Vote yes to renew the Artesia General Hospital mill levy and keep quality care right here at home. Learn more at artesiageneral.com/2025-mill-levy.
Looking to start, continue, or complete your higher education journey? Join the more than 6,000 fellow Greyhounds on their journey to student success. Eastern New Mexico University offers the most affordable higher education degree in the Southwest, and New Mexico residents can go to school tuition-free with the New Mexico Opportunity Scholarship. With online or in-person degrees, ENMU is the right choice for you. For more information, visit enmu.edu. ENMU, student success. That's what we're about. Artesia Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling, home-owned and operated for over 50 years, and here for all your plumbing, heating, and cooling needs. Artesia Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling has the expertise to install residential, commercial, and industrial air conditioning units, including the conversion of evaporative coolers to refrigerated air systems. Cut cooling costs with high-efficiency Carrier units from Artesia Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling, your authorized Carrier dealer. Artesia Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling, a proud sponsor of the Artesia Bulldogs and our community for over 50 years.
Family owned and operated for 4 generations, Forest Tire is here to service all your tire needs day and night. With your busy travel schedule, what you need is a tire that can keep up. Like the exceptionally long-lasting Michelin Defender tire with an 80,000-mile warranty and the safety you expect. You can lose track of time and focus on what really matters. For all your tire needs, brakes and alignments too, Forest Tire Company is a friend you can always count on. Forest Tire, keeping you rolling since 1944.
Fall is here, and it's time to cozy on up to the Cow, the Calico Cow Fabric and Gift Shop. The Calico Cow is your authorized handy quilter long-arm dealer. They make their own quilts, shirts, and rope bowls right at the Cow, so come in and check out all the fall and Christmas fabrics that are arriving daily, plus stellar fabrics for our interstellar travelers. The Calico Cow has Brothers sewing machines with great fall specials and come with warranties, plus they can fix and perform maintenance on all brands. So log on to RoswellQuilting.com to order. The Calico Cow Fabric and Gift Shop, 200 East College in Roswell. Want to know how? Come cozy up to the Cow.
There's nothing more magical than 80,000 cubic feet of hot air flying overhead. Join us in Artesia, New Mexico for the 42nd Annual Balloons and Tunes Festival, November 7th through the 9th. Friday kicks off with fun flights from local schools. Then Saturday and Sunday mornings, watch the skies fill with color as hot air balloons launch at dawn from Eagle Draw Park. Stick around for inflatable costume races, bounce houses, and even remote-control balloons. Food and coffee trucks will keep you fueled for the fun. Saturday night, 5th and Texas comes alive at the Artesia Arts Council's Balloons, Bands, and Brews. With food trucks, local New Mexico brews, live music, and the Artesia High School Marching Band performing alongside balloon pilots in a fiery concert you won't forget. Admission is free, with only $10 entry into the beer garden. Plan your weekend getaway to Artesia, November 7th through the 9th for the Balloons and Tunes Festival. For more information, give us a call at 575-746-2744 or visit artesiachamber.com. Paid for by Artesia Lodgers Tax.
Who can it be knocking at my door? Go away, don't come round here no more.
All right, welcome back, Artesia. Hey, well, it looks like our guest is not going to come in, so the next hour belongs to myself, I guess. We got the weather coming across. Our camera out at the tower went out, so what we've got is a radar going, and it looks like we got some more rain coming our way. It looks like Rio Dos is getting hit pretty hard right now with rain, so let's hope everything goes well up there. So I'm trying to find out. There was an interesting. I woke up this morning to an interesting slew of posts on social media from a lot of friends and acquaintances within the ranching community. So I guess President Trump definitely stubbed his toe yesterday. He tripped over himself and made some mistakes, I think, in his meeting with the ranching community yesterday. There was a number of senators and stuff from ranching heavy states and everything else. We're looking at the deal right now. We're looking at it. Beef is high. Beef is crazy high. And you go to the supermarkets. You're just a simple T-bone steak, $13, $14, $15 a pound. And as those prices increase, less and less people can afford to buy beef for their homes, and so they're relying mainly, I think, on chicken and pork, which are at lower prices. And it causes the inflation numbers to go up. I think President Trump and what I would say is, and we got, I think the boss has something to say on this, maybe.
I wasn't paying any attention.
No, he's coming in the door. So
I was going to give you a message.
Oh, you got a message?
Yeah, Jessica sent me a text about 20 minutes ago and said she wouldn't be here today.
Oh, okay. All right.
She apologized for the late notice.
Not a worry. Not a worry. All right, so
what happened to all the stuff anyway?
What happened to everything behind me? It's all gone.
Yeah.
So did you see anything about the whole stuff with the ranching community yesterday with Trump?
I heard on the news, and it's like anything that I hear on the news.
Yeah.
The Democrat side and the left-leaning media are looking for any opportunity to separate Trump from his followers.
Yeah.
So the ranching story comes out. Ranching industry, which normally supports Trump, is mad because he's importing beef from Argentina.
Tariff-free.
Tariff-free.
Yeah.
And so my spidey sense says maybe they are, but I don't think we're hearing the whole story. It's kind of like the White House renovation.
Yeah.
And you've probably seen the pictures of the ginormous Trump Tower that they're going to build in place of the East Wing.
Yeah.
But anyway, what is your understanding with the ranchers on this?
So all the stuff I've got is actually from people in the community, in the ranching community. So I think he did stick his foot in his mouth yesterday, to be honest with you.
Okay.
So he met. So their plan is to, because of the inflation on beef, they want to bring in tariff-free beef from Argentina.
Okay.
Right. To reduce the overall cost and create more competition. It seemed, from what I've seen, and I haven't got to watch the whole thing or anything like that, but he was kind of pointing at him going, look, you guys got to get your price of your beef down. You got to get your price of your beef down. And it does seem like he's missing the point why the price of beef is up, in the fact that droughts reduce the federal reduction of grazing land is huge. They just keep constricting where these cattle can graze. And that's, increasing feed cost. Now we got to buy feed, we got to, and everything else. And so the cost is going to go up.
Right.
Then you add in increased shipping costs, all of those things, which I do think shipping costs are going down along with the price of fuel. But he did seem a little bit, I heard one person use the term, he was a bit tone deaf on this. And I'll agree at this point. Of course, I don't know all the details. I'm not a rancher. I don't know all the intricacies of it. But I do know my friends that are ranchers and stuff. The cost is high.
Right.
And you go buy a whole beef. You're looking at probably $6 to $9 a pound. of meat, which, compared to going to the grocery store, because, hamburger's $6 a pound right now, that's a pretty good deal. But, used to when you could, if you look back, that's far higher than what it used to be. And so I think it's why the prices in the supermarket are so high, because the ranchers are having to sell high because their costs are going up. And what's interesting to me, I wonder why. I don't understand necessarily why. I don't understand why he does the things he does and why the administration does things the way they do. But deregulation seems to be the answer. If rather than importing foreign beef and bringing it in, I think the answer looks more like, hey, let's do some massive deregulation across the country.
Right. Let's open
up more grazing land.
Right.
All of that.
Because we've been doing the drill, baby, drill, and we've been doing all the other stuff, and it's graze, baby, graze.
Yeah, beef, baby, beef. You know what I'm saying?
Beef, yeah. So where's the ag secretary on this?
And that's what I was trying to get. I was trying to read through stuff. I couldn't tell if Rollins was, siding with the ranchers or siding with the administration more of where it was at. Obviously, he's got to go along with what the boss says, But I think he's probably trying to play the middle ground and trying to guide things in the right way, hopefully. A lot of Republican senators from ag-heavy states were in there. They're quite upset about it all, and so this might have been a miscalculation on his part, and we'll see what he does with it.
Yeah, well, it's you got to have all the information behind it. In other words, and just instead of just saying, well, beef prices are too high, that almost sounds like a Democrat.
Yeah, that was what got me.
Your health care is too expensive. Doctors, you guys are.
You need to do it for cheaper.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and it's not necessarily the case. I mean, you gotta look at all the factors. And so, like you said, talking to your friends, because one thing that came out of the story that I heard on the radio was that for the first time in a long time, there's actually a little bit of profit being made by the beef people. Well, and I don't know if that's true or not.
Well, and that was the point that Trump was making. That was kind of his kickback, was like, hey, the only reason you're making a profit right now, you're actually doing better than you were, a year, 4 years ago, is because I've put so many tariffs on things, we're not getting as much imported beef.
Right.
But then he goes, well, but we're going to pull the tariff on Argentina, and particularly them, not sure why. Don't know what kind of geopolitical game is being played there.
Right.
And we're going to bring beef in through them. Well, one of the things I read this morning from a ranching person is that was actually in the room that he wrote a big deal, is that what they're not accounting for is that Brazil will end up moving their beef through Argentina to avoid their tariffs. Because Brazil is a huge, they controlled a lot of the beef market, apparently.
Okay.
Unbeknownst to me, I found that out. I'm like, oh, okay, wow, I didn't realize that. Yeah. And he's like, all that's going to happen is Argentina's not going to produce enough, so Brazil's going to move it through them and avoid those tariffs.
Coming in tariff-free.
Yeah, they come in tariff-free.
Hopefully he'll get some better advice and listen to the different aspects of this particular issue. And I agree with you. If you want to get pricing in America better and more competitive with the rest of the world, then look at some of the rules and regulations and things that we impose upon domestic production and say, okay, well, can we eliminate some of that? Can we scale some of this back? Can we open up for more grazing? And then, of course, the stuff they're doing with the fuel. And then I heard yesterday on the news that we're looking at buying another 1 billion gallons of fuel to restock the strategic reserve, and which is probably a good time to do it while the price is down.
Yeah.
But then does that affect the supply?
Yeah, well, why buy it from outside of the country?
Right.
And so I hadn't dug into this yet. If that's what you're saying, if you're saying that.
Well, it was it was one of the newscasts yesterday. Okay. They said that they're considering getting some quotes on buying a massive amount because you remember Biden drained it.
Yeah, he drained
when the prices were high to try to get the prices down so that Kamala could get elected.
Yeah.
And
how'd that work out?
But then again, what's the point of the strategic reserve? And maybe that's something we need to look at. I mean, I can understand wanting to have a reserve if we get into a conflict.
Yeah.
We need to have fuel for our jets and our tanks and our trucks and our ships. Is that what the strategic reserve is for?
Yes. Yeah. It's
okay.
Well, not just that, but it's also because if there was, say, some worldwide conflict where we couldn't get oil anymore in large enough quantities, we've got to keep our shipping here in the country going. Right. They might start shutting us off at the pumps, but they can't shut the truckers off, because we need that shipping industry to keep going. So that's part of built.
So is there an actual place where there's tanks and that's where
that has always been my question? Do we have a giant storage place somewhere or is this kind of like like we talk about Fort Knox and the gold? Is there a Fort Knox for our oil somewhere?
Yeah,
I don't know.
Yeah.
I'll have to look that up.
I'm hoping it's not on Google Earth.
Yeah.
Because if we can find it, so can the Chinese.
Yeah.
And so can the terrorists.
Well, and my guess is it may be scattered all around the country. Storage in different places. Like near refineries and stuff that it can be held and okay, this is not to get refined and this is to stay as part of the strategic reserve. That would be my assumption. Whether I'm correct on that, I don't know. Maybe if there's an oil field person out there who wants to text me and tell me.
By the way, there's no Aaron today.
Yeah, I know no Aaron today. Yeah, so we got the whole hour just to chat. So on to the other chaos.
Yes.
So maybe you can confirm or deny this because I'm just getting. So they're tearing down. So they're building the big beautiful ballroom.
Correct.
And I know they're tearing the facade off of the east wing.
Well, the pictures I've seen, I think they tore the whole building down.
Well,
it looks like.
And that's what's being reported as of yesterday is no, they're going to go tear down the entire east wing.
Right.
And I was going, well, they're just tearing a facade off because if you look, it's just like a hallway on the end.
Right.
But now they're like, yeah, no, they're going to tear the whole thing down.
Yeah.
Okay. And what if they do? Because people are like, oh, this is horrible. He's destroying our country. He's destroying our White House. And but he's going to make it better. Why
That's
are
true.
People, and people act as if this has never happened before. Harry Truman, have you ever seen the pictures when Truman redid the whole White House?
He did the whole thing?
They gutted the entire interior. There's pictures inside where all you have is the outside shell. The inside, the floors are, the second floor is not there. Nothing's there. There's no walls on the interior.
Of the White House?
Of the White House. Truman gutted the entire White House.
Not the East Wing or the West Wing. The White House.
The White House, yeah. They gutted the whole thing and had it remodeled, and rebuilt. So it's seriously, this has happened, in multiple presidents since about FDR at least, that they've continuously done improvements.
The video clip I saw, and I hope it wasn't AI, was Trump. I think he was meeting with the senators, and he kept talking about how that used to be a pool, and JFK's wife would come in, and she heard women laughing, and the Secret Service was telling her, no, there's no women laughing. Was that true. AI, or was he really telling that?
He really told that story, and that is really true.
Yeah.
I was trying to remember who built the swimming pool. I don't remember if it was FDR or someone else, maybe Wilson. But yeah, they had a swimming pool installed in there. And then Nixon.
He put a bowling alley in.
Well, no, Nixon. No, it wasn't Nixon that put the bowling alley. Nixon had the pool filled in, and that's where they put the press briefing room now.
Okay.
So the press briefing room sets where that swimming pool used to sit.
Okay.
And so one of the guys on Fox was joking. He goes, is that why we call it the press pool?
Well, I think what really drives the libs crazy are the pictures of the new East Wing, and it's a 50-story tall gold tower that says Trump on it.
Oh, I haven't seen that one. That's hilarious. I'll have to go look for that.
I understand the idea for the ballroom. It makes sense, and in some construction, you talk to any contractor or whatever, there's a cost of redoing a building, and there's a cost of just building it new, and you have to weigh those together. And what was the significance of the East Wing? What was it? Just offices? Was it? I mean, what was?
That's my understanding. Is it's just a bunch of offices and stuff. There's no.
Yeah.
You know, there's no massive historical significance to the East Wing. It's just and they're acting like he's just doing this willy nilly. Well, he hasn't asked Congress permission. Well, he's not taking any money for Congress, so he doesn't have to.
Right.
What he has to do is he has to go and work with the National Preservation Society.
Right.
You know, they have to do that in order to get approval, because it's a historical building. So just, I mean, if we change the museum, we'd have to go, through a process, right? Because it's National Historic Building. So I look at it and go, hey, this is a bunch of ado about nothing, and but I find it quite amusing that people are getting so worked up over it.
One of the greatest memes I saw was Hillary said, "It's not your house, it's the people's house. This is terrible." And somebody replied back and said, your husband.
Yeah, exactly. I saw that too. I was like,
you might want to sit this one out.
Weren't you the one that tried to steal furniture from there when you left?
I know it. And then the woman on, what is it, MSDNC or whatever was saying, it's the people's house. It's the people's house. And then the other thing is the meme with the Top Gun. With dumping the crud on Harry Sisson and all the protesters.
All the protesters, yeah.
And everybody on the left and he's dumping it on people. He's dumping it on the people.
Yeah.
No, he's not dumping it on the people. He's dumping it on the idiot protesters who are protesting him. So don't sit there and, and I saw Jeff Daniels was on there, and, I loved him in Gettysburg.
Yeah.
But keep your mouth shut in these issues. You don't know what you're talking about. And
the women of The View were like trying to sing a song about it. I was like, this is hilarious.
Yeah.
Because it's interesting to watch his tactics. If you understand anything about tactics, if you guys remember back when we went into Iraq, the shock and awe. That's what he's been doing for 9 months. He's moving so fast.
Yeah.
Within the law, he's moving so quickly from one thing to the next. They can't even keep a news cycle going about it before he's moved on to the next thing.
That's right.
And so it's like 5 minutes of rage. Oh wait, no, there's something over here for us to rage about. Oh, and that's why they're going, oh, well, we don't need no king. He's acting like a king. He's being a dictator. I'm like, no, he's just actually utilizing the powers that he has to do the things he can do to improve the situation.
Yeah.
And you're so unused to that. You're so used to everything taking decades to get anything accomplished that when someone actually acts, it scares them.
It does. It does. And it is fun to watch, but hopefully on the beef thing, if that was a misstep, hopefully he will
I hope so.
Listen to some other issues on it, and we're not saying you shouldn't import beef from Argentina.
Yeah.
But have we done everything we can to allow our domestic beef producers to be as competitive as they can? Are they going to be able to export their beef into Argentina? Not that Argentinians want to buy
American beef,
but maybe they do. I don't know.
Yeah, but my thing is free up our local producers first. Take care of, this seems like a step away from the America First agenda.
Correct.
I think is what it really looks like, and I think that's bothersome and stuff. So,
yeah.
All right, well, let's hit our mid-hour commercial break, and we'll come back right after this.
With your Pecos Valley news updates, I'm Jared Cirillo. Thanks for joining us. On Saturday, lots of fun will be had at the Artesia Public Library with the Fall Halloween Festival. Come to the library from 3 to 5 on Saturday for all kinds of festive fun, including a spooky tent, games, a photo booth, story time, and much more. The event will be set up in the library's parking lot. It's completely free and open to everyone. In Roswell now, where the city has recently been notified of the award of a state grant to provide funding to help with the city's continuing efforts to improve its animal services facility. The $168,000 grant for Roswell from the State of New Mexico Animal Welfare Fund was approved by the State Department of Finance Local Government Division. The grant, which has no requirement of any matching money from the city, will be used to make improvements at the animal shelter, 705 East McGaffey Street, to include drainage, heating and cooling systems, outdoor turf installation, and interior and exterior painting. You're up to date. I'm Jared Sorello.
It's time for the Eddy County Sports Report. The Artesia Bulldogs boys soccer team has got its last regular season game scheduled tonight at 6 o'clock, playing against Portales. Artesia comes into the game with a sparkling 16-3 record overall, 5-0 in district. Portales is 2-14. But the Bulldogs are licking their wounds a little bit after losing on Saturday in Albuquerque against St. Pius, a team that Artesia often plays in the postseason. Artesia wins that one 5-0. St. Pius is 15-1-3 on the season. So it'll be the last regular season game, but there'll probably be a postseason. There will be a postseason for Artesia. Not so for Carlsbad, losing on Tuesday to Hobbs by a score of 5-1. Carlsbad finishes 3-15. The Sports Report brought to you by DSI. Call DSI for all your office technology needs. I'm Eric Butler at KSVP Radio, AM 990.
Turn up your radio. Here's the Sean Hannity Morning Minute.
I think Virginia is a blue state because 90% of Northern Virginia are all people in the bureaucracy that work in Washington, D.C. In New Jersey, Jack Ciattarelli, Donald Trump did weigh in on this, taken to Truth Social, touting that Ciattarelli is doing very well in the polls, urged his supporters in the Garden State to go vote for Jack Ciattarelli. He will not let you down. And I do know that there are national Republicans. Now, I will tell you that behind the scenes, panic has set in both New Jersey and the Commonwealth of Virginia. And the Democratic DNC, they are pouring millions of dollars into both races in the final weeks of this campaign because they are on the ropes. They see the polling, and they know it's much closer than it should be.
Check out the Sean Hannity radio show later today, right here.
There's a reason I'm so proud of our partnership with Pure Talk, my wireless company, a veteran-owned company, because they don't just talk the talk, they walk the walk when it comes to supporting our vets. It's a veteran-owned company. This month, Pure Talk is choosing to support Canines for Warriors. Now, this is an incredible organization that rescues and trains dogs, pairs them with veterans that are struggling, for example, with PTSD. Canines for Warriors gives these heroes a purpose. It gives them companionship and healing. That's exactly why Pure Talk, a veteran-led company, supports them. Now, choose a wireless company that shares your values. Remember, you're going to get unlimited talk and text and plenty of data, $25 a month. Average family saves over $1,000 a year. You get the exact same service as the big carriers, same cell tower, same 5G network. Just dial pound 250, say the keyword save now, and make the switch. Pound 250, keyword save now, switch today to America's wireless company, Pure Talk.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. Some showers possible today. We have low pressure crossing over northern New Mexico, and we'll stay in the upper 70s with that cloud cover. A shower may linger into the overnight hours, down to 50, and then we're right back to sunshine on Friday, upper 70s for the afternoon high. Our weekend looks really good. Sunny skies both Saturday and Sunday, mid 70s to low 80s. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
Welcome back, Artesia. Hey, so Gene.
Yes.
Have you seen the news? So another thing that was in my media this morning and yesterday is apparently our governor now cares about natural gas.
Really?
She wants, and somehow I'm trying to get an answer from Brock right now, and it's stuck. I can't find the answer. She made a deal with Japan.
She made a deal with Japan.
Yeah. So I got the summary of it. It's a memorandum of understanding between New Mexico State University and Fujitsu Limited, which is Japanese technology. I mean, I've seen Fujitsu stuff, throughout the years. But the agreement establishes a 4-year international collaboration to create a national innovation hub and test bed for advanced computing technologies at NMSU in Las Cruces.
Okay.
So that was the deal. But so I'm trying to find out.
What's that got to do with natural gas?
That's what I'm trying to find out. And I was like, I thought of it too late in the commercial break, and I'm like trying to go, and I think Grok's confused.
Can I speculate?
Yeah.
If they're going to build any kind of a research or data center,
yeah,
they can't have the grid primarily be powered by wind and solar.
What? I thought wind and solar was the answer to everything. I thought that was going to save us.
Yeah.
Yeah. Here we go. She did not explicitly promise Japan natural gas as part of the MOU. Let's see. However, during her 2025 trade mission to Japan, Lujan Grisham has been promoting New Mexico's natural gas industry for potential exports to Japan. Discussions about strengthening economic ties, including natural gas, were part of a broader conversation with Japanese officials and companies. Okay. It just goes to show you.
So we shouldn't use natural gas here.
Right, there you go.
But it's okay for the Japanese.
It's evil for us to use natural gas. It's evil for us to extract natural gas out of the ground. But because it's politically convenient to promise it to Japan in order to get something back and to make herself look like she's, if anybody's watching, you can see through this facade. This is her trying to establish herself as a international deal maker.
Mm-hmm.
This is her trying to climb the political ladder.
Yeah.
She is hoping, but it's funny because if you remember in the last administration, she really wanted to be the Secretary of Health.
That's right.
They offered her the DOE position.
Right.
And she turned it down because she thought she would get and then she didn't get nothing.
Right.
Which I found hilarious.
Yeah,
you should have took it. We had all been glad if you'd taken it because you couldn't have done any worse than the guy who was in there. You would have been gone from this state.
We would have had Manny as our governor.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's an interesting thought because, we see it all the time. We're not allowed to produce. It's like all the hubbub over the rare earth minerals. And China does some kind of restriction. Mm-hmm. And so we cut a deal with the Australians.
Yeah.
And that's fine. But in the stories that I've heard about that, we have all those rare earth minerals here in our country, but we're not allowed to go get them.
That's been my question. Do they not exist in our country?
Oh, we have them here. We have them in the United States of America. According to these stories that I've heard, we have them in great quantities.
But we hate mining so much.
We hate mining, and so we'll mine other parts of the world.
Yeah.
And bring it in, which in a way maybe is nice because then we never ever touch ours, and then when we've exploited the rest of the planet,
when the rest of the world's ran out,
we'll still have ours.
Right.
But it seems to be a liberal. They can't think straight in one serious. They can't take a position on anything.
Yeah.
And if the position is that natural gas is bad,
yeah,
and we're going to lead the way on green energy,
yeah,
then when Japan comes and says, "Hey, we want to build a research lab in New Mexico. In return, can we have access to your natural gas?" Then your stated position, if that's your position,
yeah,
should be, well, I'm sorry, but you probably don't realize this, but natural gas is bad, and you guys need to be building wind and solar, all over all over the mountains
Mount
there
Fuji.
in Mount Fuji.
Yeah.
And that's how your high-speed train should be running on wind and solar, and you guys need to shut down your nukes and do that and follow me as we lead to the world to the clean energy. But no, if it means we're going to get that economic development in New Mexico,
Yeah.
and we might have to send them some of our natural gas. I wish they would just be honest with what their positions are and hold true to those positions.
I don't think they're capable of it because of the Marxist ideology which drives them all, right? This concept of oppressed and oppressor, and everything is a political move. There's no genuine honesty, and I think that's why, and I'm sure there's some of that to Trump. There absolutely is. But
you mentioned it before, some of his strategy on doing things.
Yeah, but
what's the goal at the end of the day?
I think that's the thing. What is the goal? And I talked about that in that first segment today. Is the goal furtherance of you and your party, or is it a desire to make everyone's life better? Is it a desire to actually improve the life of people? There's been an interesting thing going on in the country that I've been observing and watching as of lately, is a shift within the black community of these young men that are coming up and they're making all these really phenomenal documentaries and podcasts and everything else going, we've tried it the Democrats' way for 50, 60, 70 years. Our lives are not getting any better, right? And they're starting to pull back this lens of this Marxist ideology that's been driving the Democrat Party for so long. The Democrat Party wants you to remain. They don't want the oppressed to ever rise above being oppressed, because if they don't have a base of people who feel oppressed and feel attacked and feel like their lives been lessened, if they don't have that base at all times, then they have nothing to complain about. They don't want to solve problems, because solving problems means you now have no more purpose.
Right.
It's kind of that concept of like, what do you call it? Business efficiency experts and stuff like that. They're always going to find more efficiencies, because then if they fix all the efficiency,
right.
They're going to be out of job.
Right.
And so they, just constantly. We called it in the chorus self-licking ice cream cone.
There you go. Yeah. All right. Which you'll get at the Joe Biden Presidential Library.
Oh, that's great.
Which, by the way, looks like a giant ice cream cone stand.
Yeah.
Well, it's crazy. It's like, and Haley talked about this yesterday, and kind of dovetails on this. The county, one of the things they're thinking about doing is doing away with the county business license. Is that something?
I appreciate that.
Is that something that's truly beneficial? What is the purpose of it, and is it, does it serve a purpose that's beneficial to the taxpayers and to the businesses and everybody? And apparently, not so much. And so they're going to have a discussion at their next commission meeting, and I think the next meeting, and that's going to be one of the things we're going to talk about. Do we need to just do away with this county business license? Our governor, and I've said this before, but she can't do it because of her liberal Marxist tendencies. Look at how she took care of us during COVID and everything else. The smartest thing anybody in New Mexico could do would be to say, let's get a nuclear power plant in New Mexico.
Absolutely.
And then we can have plenty of energy for all these energy-consuming tech-related industry operations like data centers and stuff like that. And we can sell the energy to California, and we can sell it to...
And you can put it right next door to WIP, so when you got to store the old rods, just right there.
Yeah, but we nixed that project. So the company that was working on that has said, we're going to someplace else, because New Mexico is just clear they don't want us here. And
what's that, the WIP?
No. There was a company that was going to build a storage facility for spent nuclear fuel.
Right, okay.
And they were developing a site in southeast New Mexico.
Yeah.
And they just announced last week, the climate here is just such, we're gonna look someplace else. We're gonna go someplace else for it. Yeah. And that's really a shame. Now there's water issues in New Mexico, of course, but as far as green energy is concerned, a nuclear power plant is the greenest form of massive energy production that there is. It's better than gas. It's better than coal. It's better than the others. But that's not how our leadership thinks in this country and in our state.
And I would hope. My prayer is that people start waking up. Right. I saw a graphic this morning online. 86 years of Democrat trifectas, like over the past, 86 years, or not 86. I can't remember how many years it was. 86 years of Democrat trifecta. They had the House, the Senate, and the governorship. And look at where we're at. At no point in there was there ever a Republican trifecta. We've had Republican governors. Sometimes Republicans have had the House. Sometimes Republicans have had the Senate, but never like where they have that control. So for anyone in this state to seriously set back and go, well, it's the Republicans' fault this state's this way. You're not thinking clearly whatsoever. Right. Your mental acuity is in question, because this has been the bluest of blue states for so long. That we're now in a position where the only thing that has kept this state even functioning is gas and oil.
That's true.
Without it, this state would
and the one time
be a
that
wasteland.
There was a governor who was bold enough to break down the strict control of the legislature was Johnson. He was dealing with Raymond Sanchez and Manny Aragon, who were the head of the House and the Senate, and he had his turbo-powered veto pen.
Yeah.
And he just vetoed everything. I mean, everything. And that finally brought Ray and Manny to the table.
Yeah, they said, he goes, you want anything, you're going to have to give me something.
That's right. And that was the only time that we had that kind of leadership. And then, of course, he had to go and say, let's legalize all the drugs. And that was the end of the Gary Johnson political career.
He got a little wound up on that.
He was a man ahead of his time.
He definitely was ahead of his time. Gary Johnson would be quite happy now on that. But
I don't know that a Gary Johnson type can get elected in New Mexico.
No, I don't think so. I think you need, and I wouldn't say we need like a Trump style guy. I would say we need a Vance style guy.
Yeah.
Well thought out, well spoken, strong in his convictions, ready to do, but just not as caustic. I don't think Trump.
He can be, though. Did you see his response to Harry Sisson?
No, I missed it.
Harry was one of the people in the
video,
fighter jet video that got dumped on, and Harry said, "Why? Why would the president do this to me?" And J.D. Vance replied, "I don't know. I'll ask."
Yeah.
And then he replied with a Trump putting on a crown, raising the sword, and then the video of the Democrats when they were all kneeling during the BLM
I missed that one.
Yeah, that was his, I don't know, I'll ask him. And then that's what he...
Yeah, he does play the game well, but like I said, I don't know. I don't know how you...
Did you see him in Rubio as the ticket?
Yeah, I do. I really do. I think that's the next ticket.
But just for the liberals listening, Trump 2028.
Yeah, Trump 2028. We'll get our hats. So, all right, man. Well, boss, thanks for coming in and visiting with me and filling out the hour. And thanks for listening to Artesia. And tune in to hear Gene tomorrow. And I'll talk to you next week. God bless.
Sometimes that dog barking is an Artesia Bulldog preparing for victory. Most of the time, however, it's probably just the family pet asking for attention. Artesia Animal Clinic provides a full range of services for just about any size pet or animal. Our new clinic has been expanded to provide better quality of care, including an in-house laboratory, radiology, surgery, herd health, and more. So the next time your pet looks like they could use some extra care, come by Artesia Animal Clinic in our newly remodeled and expanded facility at 110 West Mahone Drive.
Dean's Inc. of Artesia provides a superior choice for all your electrification, communication, and supply needs, with a vision to be the premier industrial electrical service provider in New Mexico and West Texas, providing unparalleled quality in supplies and service with highly skilled and conscious personnel. We pledge to our customers to exhibit the utmost in integrity and reputation while providing superior quality in all we do. Dean's Inc., located at 409 Commerce Road or online at deansinc.com.
When was the last time a bank asked you if you'd like to keep more of your money? At Artesia Credit Union, you pay yourself by avoiding big bank fees and all the corporate investors that go along with them. Let Artesia Credit Union help you achieve financial happiness. From home and auto loans to a working line of credit or sending your kids to college, membership is open to anyone who calls New Mexico home. Stop by the branch on 5th Street or log on to artesiacu.org. Artesia Credit Union, member NCUA, an equal housing lender.
Hocker & Sons of Artesia, a company specializing in excavation and construction, is proud to support and provide construction services to the people and businesses of Eddy County and the surrounding area. With their expert knowledge of the industry, Hocker & Sons is well equipped to offer top-level service and professionalism to all oil field businesses, commercial and private parties with excavation and construction needs. Call Hocker & Sons today at 575-365-3175 or visit their website at hockerandsons.com. Go Bulldogs!
Did you know that God values relationships? At Faith Baptist Church, we exist to begin, build, and broaden a relationship with God and with others. We want a relationship with God through faith in His Son, Jesus Christ, as our Savior. And we also want a relationship with others in a healthy biblical community. Come join us as we strive together to go from where we are to where God wants us to be. 10:30 on Sunday mornings and 6:15 on Wednesday evenings.
401 South 20th in Artesia or visit fbcartesia.com. Hey, Bulldog athletics and fans, ready to fuel up after the big game? Schlotzsky's in Artesia has the mouth-watering favorites you crave. From our bold sandwiches stacked high to crisp, fresh salads, piping hot pizzas, and fully loaded calzones. There's something for every Bulldog appetite. So whether you're gearing up to play or cheering from the stands, power your Bulldog pride with flavor that always wins. Schlotzsky's Artesia, fueling Bulldog athletes and fans one bite at a time.
In the book